All right, I don't know when we're live, so we'll cue.
Welcome, welcome, one and all. This is Breeze Olson coming to you live and in color from Santa Cruz, California, where today was nice and sunny, but it's been quite rainy. In fact, we are all still trying to dry out from several days of heavy, heavy rain and doing pretty good about it right now. So here we are. It is January 30th, 2021, and I am here joined by the teams of different parts of the country. We have Georgia United in Atlanta, and we have Northern Illinois near Chicago in St. George. And I have the judges and the coaches. Everyone's here. I got some special guests and narrators that are going to come with me. And I'm just going to go ahead and swap over here and let's go with a different camera angle so that I can show you guys just my little blurb at the beginning until the meet actually starts. I will just be inviting everyone and going through the welcomes. So this is GymACT presentation in association with the uber-geeks of Virtual Stars Gymnastics. We are presenting this meet to you today in real time and live with the judging happening right here and now. Virtual Stars Gymnastics, of course, has been doing virtual gymnastics, bringing people together from across the world, being able to compete already for a couple of years, even before COVID was a thing. So they are pretty much knowing what they're doing. So we're going to do the scores in real time here and more about them a little later. This, of course, is in tandem with a junior or developmental meet that's going on in Atlanta right now at the Conference International Conference Center in Atlanta, and the boys and girls meets that's going on there this weekend. The two college teams that are going to be competing tonight, two GymACT teams face to face for the first time ever virtually. Georgia United Gymnastics, a brand spanking new in the realm of GymACT, and we also have Northern Illinois men's gymnastics team who are going to be in their second meet of the year. They competed the first meet of the year a little earlier, and we'll talk more about their performance there a little bit too later today. Once again, if you are watching us on the YouTube channel, you can go to Virtual Stars Gymnastics, click on the GymACT Live link right here at the top, and then find the Georgia United and Northern Illinois competition, and you can watch the scores show up live and in real time. So let's go back to the competition and remove spotlight, go to gallery view, and we can see everybody here. So I can hear David Pomerantz, who is talking to us from Georgia. So David, this is your meet. You take it over whenever you want, buddy.
They're gonna call all y'all like name by name. Think like
all right, thank you. We're getting ready to introduce our teams right now.
Are you gonna get her and then like well give you I always mess it up because I'm left-handed. I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is GymACT Live showing you the competition between Georgia United and Northern Illinois United. And these teams are going to be facing each other from across the country. Georgia United, of course, is in Atlanta, and Northern Illinois is
from Cartersville, Georgia, Cartersville Twisters.
David is announcing the teams that are present locally in Georgia. These are
starting
all
Squad C on the still rings from Canton, Georgia, Zenith Gymnastics.
All the local and distant teams who are actually in Georgia
and
competing live.
Starting also on the rings from Noonan School of Gymnastics. They should be on vault. Starting in Squad D on the vault from Tucker, Georgia, Atlanta School of Gymnastics. from Uber-Georgia Gymnastics Training Center. Starting in squatty on the parallel bars from Cumming, Georgia, the Gym Station. From Montgomery, Alabama, Armory Athletics. Starting in squad F on the high bar from Suwanee, Georgia, Georgia Gymnastics Academy. From Concord, California, Liberty Gymnastics Training Center.
All right. My neck of the woods. Go Liberty.
And starting on floor exercise from Kennesaw, Georgia, Gymnastics Academy of Atlanta. And coming to us virtually all the way from DeKalb, Illinois, Northern Illinois University.
I'd like to welcome all of you at home who are here with us today. I see about 40 of you already joining us. This is fantastic. I love that you're here. My name is Bree Zolson. I'm from Santa Cruz, California, and we have teams from
And for the first time, introducing our very own Georgia United. First, we have Bo Buckner, Hunter Clulo, Adam Hutchinson, Jamin Rasmussen, Kruen Hutchig, with our coaches, Tyler Green and head coach Nikita Zukov. All right, we're looking forward to a great competition today. If everybody can please rise for the playing of our national anthem. All right. Wow. All right, Jim. I got no sound. Okay. All right, gymnasts and coaches, go ahead and make your way to your first event. Let's begin competition.
Lovely. All right, welcome back, everybody. My name is Breeze Olson, and I'm here with you. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to introduce the virtual side of the competition. Now, the Georgia United team has already been announced to the world, and they are going to be getting ready for their first event. And the way that this is all going to work out is there is a juniors meet happening right now, and the juniors from their rotation are going to go first. So you're going to see about 5 guys competing before we actually start the college competitive team. Meanwhile, I just want to bring up a couple of things. Let's just go ahead and let's see here. I'm going to change this real quick to the screen that I want, just to give you guys something better to look at than me while I'm talking. That's always a preferred thing, isn't it? So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Breeze Olson, and I'm here in Santa Cruz, California. I am one of the coaches for the teams that are members of GymACT. And GymACT is an organization that has currently 11 teams all across the country. And these teams are dispersed all throughout this land from coast to coast. If we go to the GymACT webpage right here, we see that we have teams. We have Arizona State University. We have Georgia United, of course, they're competing today. Kansas City United, another brand new team, just joined GymACT about 2 months ago. We have New York Alliance. We have Northern California United, my home team. Represent. We have Northern Illinois University from the Chicago area, more specifically from the St. George area, excuse me. We have Rocky Mountain Pride in the Colorado, Utah, and it's not St. Charles? Did I say it wrong? So where did I stop? It is Rocky Mountain Pride from the Colorado area, but they also go through Wyoming and Utah. We also have Southern California United, our sort of rivals here in NorCal. We have Temple University, who currently are going by the name of Owls because they are dealing with their legalities of being part or not of the university, and we have to respect those wishes of the NCAA schools, of course. We have University of Illinois Chicago, UIC Men's Gymnastics, and we have Washington Men's Gymnastics. 11 teams across the country. Georgia United, GAU, is what we are calling them today.
I'll try and reset the Bluetooth this one to my computer.
Mute them. Okay, let me mute the GAU guys because there's a lot of noise coming through from them. There you go. That'll make it a little bit more quiet. Nat, you are currently unmuted in Zoom, so if you are intended to talk to us, please do. Otherwise, go ahead and mute yourself. Thanks, brother. Yes, you did. Trouble in the house. All right, back over here into the GymACT website. We are GymACT, and we are here to foster the growth of men's collegiate gymnastics. Programs strengthen and raise the level of our sport and protect the relationship and integrity of collegiate gymnastics. While promoting the essence of the sport and its competitiveness, we provide ideas, tools to inspire the creation of new teams and support existing teams in their pursuit of higher standards. Now, all that means is that we have been, for now, going into our 4th year, we've been taking care of we're taking care of the teams that already exist, and we are taking care of teams that are forming. Either they're coming up from the NAIG, not coming up, excuse me, they're moving from the NAIGC stratum into this NCAA rules competitive level of gymnastics, or God forbid, one of the teams gets dropped from NCAA, they then get to have a platform that they can compete with other teams that are high-level competition, teams that are pursuing high levels of competitiveness, teams that are trying to put members of their teams onto the national team status. These are teams that are trying to take their full team to national championships, national collegiate championships, and that's part of our credo, is that these teams are formed with the intention of going as far as possible into the competitive season, into national championships. That is our goal. We have certain restrictions and rules, of course. This is a league of collegiate athletes, so athletes have to be student athletes. Students first, athletes second, and that's the whole idea. So they're pursuing some sort of a career beyond gymnastics. That's the utmost importance to us. So that's GymACT in a nutshell, and we are here with the teams, and I will now introduce the team from Northern Illinois. And I know that they're already warming up because I talked for way too long. So I'm just going to ask Coach Josh Levin, excuse me. Coach Josh, would you please just go ahead and call out the names of your athletes, if you don't mind? And you're there in St. Charles.
Hey, Breeze,
Yes, I'm listening to you. Go ahead, David.
we are ready.
Oh, my goodness. You ready to go? Then let's roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen, never mind introductions. The NIU team is there and warming up, and we're going to go straight into the first event, which is floor exercise. That means that the juniors are already finished. So Georgia United, I am going to spotlight you for everyone. And we have the judges today for this competition. We have Nat Hammond, we have Mike Cook, and Paul Evat. We're going to hear from them in a little bit. But at the moment, we're going to have Mr. Mike Cook. No, let me say it correctly. Paul Evat is going to be the D1 judge, and Nat Hammond will be the execution judge for the first routine. Competitive athlete from Georgia United, Kruin Ucht is going to be our first athlete. Judges, can I get a verbal confirmation if you're ready for the first few of them? And they're good, so let's go.
This is Mike. I'm ready.
Nate, if you have any comments to make on these routines, that'd be fantastic. So we did a double front mount. That is a difficult mount to do. And obviously you saw he overshot it a little bit and he went a little further than he intended to. Those nerves on the first routine are always a thing, aren't they?
There's nothing like being the first guy up and just getting out there trying to set the tone for the rest of the guys. It's a lot of pressure, but it's a big honor.
You want to start strong. You want to set the tone. You want to have a clean routine with the least amount of deductions possible. It's a solid routine that you can go out there and hit. But of course, there are requirements on these floor routines that they have to have. And so you got to put some risk. All right. Good job over there for Kruin. Kruin is originally from Atlanta and joined the Georgia United team there, I believe this year as a freshman, if I'm not mistaken.
It's awesome.
So, we have the judges. I'm going to just go ahead and show everybody what's going on here, that the judges are working to get their scores in place. I'm going to remove spotlight so that everyone can see each other. And as soon as Nat is done with entering his execution, we're going to go ahead and swap over to the other judging panel, which Nat will continue doing execution for the entire floor and pommel horse, and we'll swap between Paul and Mike as the
I'm ready.
Difficulty judges. So Mike Cook is ready. Nat Hammond is giving me a thumbs up. So we're going to go ahead and go back to spotlighting the Georgia United athletes. And second on floor exercise, ready to go, is Adam Hutchinson. Adam, go ahead and salute your judges and begin your routine. Adam Hutchinson, also from Atlanta, Georgia. Local boy, does good. Routine with a double back, over rotated a little too much. And unfortunately start for Adam. You can tell he's a very powerful tumbler. A little too powerful for his own good in that first pass. Nice job with the second pass.
Definitely got a lot of power in his tumbling there. Nice presentation, though. I like the attention to detail with the fingers and all of the element group, all the non-acrobatic elements on floor.
Fairly tall gymnast, taking advantage of those long lines and showing off with elegance.
When you're tall, you just got to take advantage of it. A layout looks a lot better when you're 6 feet tall compared to when you're 5 feet tall.
Indeed.
Oh, nice finish.
Well
almost
done.
Stuck that landing.
Yeah, almost. We're also keeping track of besides keeping track of the scores, we are going to go ahead and keep track of the stuck landings for today's competitions. And one of the things that we're doing is, if you are viewing this from the YouTube channel, you may want to hop on to Virtual Stars Gymnastics and check out the website that has the GymACT Live for this meet. And the scores are being shown right there. And you see the scores coming up for Georgia United. Cruin scored an 11.0. And in that same page, the video is available to be watched in real time. And if you are, for some reason, having any issues with the page, go ahead and refresh it, and the scores should be showing. All right, there we are as they're being entered. They come up on the screen, and the next athlete is ready to go. We're going to go ahead and go to Hunter Clulo on the floor exercise from Georgia United. Judges, as soon as I get a thumbs up from you, as soon as I get a thumbs up from the judges, I have one, and Nat is ready as well. Let's go ahead then and start with Mr. Hunter from Georgia United.
He's already mounting the floor with confidence. I like it.
Those double fronts, are difficult. It's a D-level skill, which gives you 0.4 of a point for the difficulty score. But of course, it's a blind landing, so it's a hard landing to do. Nathan, did you ever compete a double front?
I never competed double front. I usually just did a double back in college because I liked being able to see where the ground was. I would take the 1/10 less in difficulty and be able to see the ground. But I admire anybody that's willing to put a double front into their routine. I never had the, I was always a little too scared.
Yeah, well, these athletes are competing at the elite level with the college rules of engagement for the meet. And what that means is that they are required to do a double flipping skill in their floor routine, or they lose 0.3 of a point in their start value. So it's a required skill, it's an extra requirement on the floor. They have 4 element groups that they have to fulfill, and one of them has to be a double flip.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting change to the code that made floor a lot more entertaining once they made the double flipper requirement. Ooh, stuck landing. Yes. There we go.
Oh, could have kept that as a dismount. Would have been a bonus point.
I know, right? And with this new format, they are required to have a D-level dismount, correct?
Yes, it is. Well, actually, no, it's not true. They can have a C or higher for the bonus stamp. I'll verify that with the judges in a second, but I might be wrong about that. That's why the judges are there. We can ask them these things.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why he dismounted with that front double full and not the front full, because he wanted the full value.
That's right. That's right.
For me, that's a very difficult dismount. I was never able to do a front double full at the end of my routine. My legs did not have the gas.
So as we go through here, the judges are deliberating some of the minutia of the scoring process. Of course, in the beginning of the routines, the beginning of the competition, there's always a moment of sort of finessing and learning how to address one another and making sure that they're on the same page with the amount of deductions that they're taking, or the amount of bonuses that they're also offering to the athletes. So going into the next athlete, stand by. The judges are still finishing with their score.
He's got the corner pace on the floor. That was definitely something that your legs are ready to go. You know you're about to do a routine. You have to have your muscles ready to fire, but you also have to stand still and look calm, cool, and collected.
Indeed.
So I always remember standing in the corner of the floor, bouncing up and down as your body's just ready to do your routine. You want to get out there and do what you need to do while waiting for the judges to finish up scoring.
Yeah, it's an unnerving situation when you're ready to go, but you know the world is not. So you got to wait for your turn. And that's one of the things that's one of the things that I have about that I love about these virtual meets that are done in person versus submitting the routines, is that you get the reality of you perform when it's your turn. And judges, while I'm talking, if you just give me a thumbs up if you're ready, we're going to go ahead forward. We're there. Awesome. So let's go ahead and bring back the spotlight for the Georgia United. The next athlete is Jamin Rasmussen, and he is from Georgia United. Bring it on. Let's go, Jamin.
All right, let's see how many sticks we can get in this routine. Here we go.
From Knoxville, representing Georgia United. An Arabian double
Oh,
front.
yes.
Well
Very
executed.
nicely executed Arabian double front. D-value skill.
Another one of those blind landings, but he did take off from a backwards flipping position, did a half turn, and then 2 front flips. It's a difficult skill. It's a D-level skill.
A nice combination pass there. Just a little bit of power.
Yeah, you will see a lot of combination skills done in succession, multiple bounding skills. That way you can get more bonus points added to your routine with less running, really. You just, it's a matter of efficiency. Now, if you do a certain level of skill back to back, you do get extra bonus points. But, you know, many times the athletes will do 2 simple skills in a row, just again, so that you don't have to take another running pass. Getting ready for his last pass
He's
here.
done with it.
The mandatory swinging of the arms for rest.
Ooh, nice back 2.5 dismount. One thing we noticed during that routine is on his back layout, when he landed, he clicked his heels together. Do you want to tell people why he was clicking his heels together and whether or not that's a deduction?
All right, that wraps up that first
But you know what we're going to
rotation.
do, though? We're going to
Gymnastic
go right
coaches,
over
please
to
make
the
your way to your
next
second
group. So
event.
I'll address that in just a
12-minute
moment.
warm-up.
You can hear, you may or may not be
Something on the
hearing
volume.
David's voice in the background there. He's the local announcer. And I'm not sure if it's coming through to the Zoom or not, but David Pomerantz is the head coach for Georgia United and creator of that team. And he has given the rotate for the athletes. Meanwhile, as soon as the judges are ready, we are going to magically take ourselves out to St. Charles. And,
as they patiently wait in the corner.
As they patiently wait in the corner. So
The last session, I gave him all the boys.
waiting for Nat, if
Last
you're ready
session, I
for
took
that
care of all
one
the
as well.
boys. Some I gave them to the boys directly. Some I gave to coaches based on
If,
you were busy working. So
If Nat is
you were
ready for
working,
the
man. I got you.
e-panel, fantastic. So we're good to go. So this is from Northern Illinois, Mr. Jamie Lynn Miles. Jamie Lynn, go ahead and start your routine.
All right, let's get it.
Originally from Lombard, Illinois.
Ooh, nice combination pass there. Front full to front tuck. Oh, nice. I like that element group right there.
After the rotation's over, I can scroll down on the page to get to it.
Oh, are we going to get that stuck landing on that double back? I think I would.
You better believe it. Now, as Nathan was talking about the stuck landings, is that they are required to bring their heels together in order to show that the stick landing did not lose any body position deductions. So he may get the stick and still have a deduction for moving the feet afterwards to bring them together, but he's required to. Oh, that was a little hot right there. So we'll do, if my cameraman is awake, we need to make sure that we're panning from side to side there. So Josh, go ahead and make sure that you let the guys know that they got to pan from side to side. You're not quite catching both corners of the floor. This is all in real time. And as you see, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking care of the business of the running the meet as well as the entertainment part. So wearing multiple hats here. And that's why Nathan is here. He's the entertainment part.
Oof, a little bit of pressure there.
No doubt. So as the judges figure out their scores right there, you saw that on the dismount, he did take a hop, so he does not get the green flag of sticking. In fact, none of the athletes so far on the floor exercise got a green flag for the stuck dismount landing. And yeah, right. I wonder if he did like a standing triple back in a corner, and we missed it just now.
That's what I heard.
I bet he was doing the all together, you know, arm circle. Just gonna go. That's what he did.
The old I used to hear that called the Olympic breathing move.
Let's just bring Josh in as the meet representative. Josh, do you confirm that he did no skills on that corner when we missed him?
He did do the standing triple, actually.
That's what I thought. A triple axel.
No, actually, yeah, there was nothing in the corner there. We're working on it, so we'll by this routine here, we'll be able to. It'll be okay.
I know it's my fault. I made you guys move the camera a little closer to the floor so we can see a little more clearly. But clearly, I was wrong, and you need to move the camera around. So,
okay.
Hey, I thought you would appreciate that one. All right, let's go ahead and go back to spotlighting the athletes from Northern Illinois, and the next athlete up is Mr. Dylan Bond from Northern Illinois United. Judges are ready. I got thumbs up of one. I got thumbs up of the other. And here we go. Dylan, take it away.
Nice, powerful run. Ooh, back 1.5 to front half. That's a fun combo right there.
There's that combination right there. And they got a little frazzled at the corner because he got a little closer than I think he was expecting.
Ooh, almost stuck that front full.
Good control on his tumbling. Powerful athlete. Now the athletes
nice stuck landing on the back layout.
That's right. The athletes are required to go to all four corners of the floor. Otherwise, they lose some points for the routine construction. We need to make sure that they use up this 40 by 40 square that we have marked there for the competition space.
Absolutely. I'm loving the control that I see out of this athlete when he lands, and even when he takes a step, he makes sure he shows that he has complete control.
And he
we got a stuck
landing, and the green flag goes
there we
up.
go. You know, nothing. I've done a lot of other fun things in my life, but nothing compares to the excitement of when you stick that landing on any event, but floor in particular, and you get to go over. We saw it from him where you're just slamming the high fives from your teammates. Everybody goes wild. There's nothing quite like that feeling.
It is a great feeling indeed, and know that you did your job, that you helped your team, and your team knows that they can count on you for that, and that's a fantastic feeling indeed. All right.
Absolutely. And then right after that, the momentum from a stuck dismount that leads into the next routine, because the next guy up, you know the guy before you stuck that dismount, so you have the adrenaline, you have the wave that you're riding of the last stuck dismount, and you know that it's up to me. I got to keep this streak going.
Indeed. And it looks like the judges are ready to go for the next athlete. So we're going to go ahead and bring back the speaker mode for the audience to be able to see best. And this is Mr. Cole Schreiber from NIU on the floor exercise. Cole, take it away.
I always get excited when I see a landing mat put over in the corner of the floor. You know, they're pushing the boundaries of their capabilities. It's a skill that they feel they need a mat for. So let's see what happens. Nicely done.
Beautiful job indeed. Yeah, that mat's a crucial thing, especially early in the season. We want to make sure that these guys are safe and staying healthy. So a double back is a tough landing on the ankles. If the guy lands that with a little bit under rotation, it could be the end of the season for a guy. So we want to make sure that they're doing the skills that they can do with a little extra precaution. And
nice
Cole's
and precise in his corner transitions.
You can tell that he knows where that landing is supposed to be, finding it every time, putting his feet solid on the ground.
You know, I like that entire pass that just happened. The whip to layout, handstand, pirouette, step down. It just had a nice flow to it, bringing the artistic back to artistic gymnastics.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, well done.
A slight hop on the landing.
Schreiber on floor exercise from NIU. That was a great routine. And we have, while the judges are deliberating, I'm going to go ahead and show my my screen on the, let's see if I can go to the gallery here so that you can see what I'm talking about. Is that when we have you go to virtualstars.com, virtualstarsgymnastics.com, excuse me, and we have the scores coming up right here. And the team scores are tallied up at the top of the page, and the floor exercise in competitive order. You can see that the scores are showing up as the judges give out the scores. You see right here that we got the green flag for the stuck landing on the dismount, and that counts as a bonus adjustment for the routine. So that athlete gets a bonus 1/10 for sticking his dismount. And that's what we're all looking for. We're looking for those stuck landings. All right, and it looks like the judges are ready for the next athlete. So I will go ahead and move this right along and remove myself from the spotlight so that we can have the next athlete, Micah Puckett from NIU, ready to go on floor exercise. Let's go, Micah.
Ooh, he saved that double front. You got to pull the extra power because if you undercut it, there's not much you can do to save it from going down to your butt.
Yep. You got to be ready for the ground before it hits you.
You got to be ready for it, even though you can't see it coming.
It is one of those things where your awareness, your air awareness is something that you just learn from doing hundreds or even thousands of repetitions of the same skill. And you just know from the moment you took off, you know the timing in the air, you see things around you, and you use your air sense to literally find the ground that you cannot see. So you're using all of your senses to the best of your ability. Otherwise, you can see the guys that land and just kind of roll right out of the skill. And it's because they weren't quite spatially aware of where the ground was when they couldn't see it.
Absolutely. Gymnasts possess some of the best proprioception of any athletes out there.
This is true. Mike is doing a great job staying strong on his feet. Double full.
Oh, so close.
We all want to see those stuck landings. I know we do.
We want to see those stuck landings, but it's still nice to see an athlete get super excited and hyped for his team after he hits a set. See a teammate running over to give him a little congratulations off screen there.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the more challenging parts of the floor exercise for me was when you think about the non-acrobatic elements. So the press handstands, the splits, the wide arm handstands, because you go from having all of this power trying to do your double flips and your twists and your connections, and then you have to take a deep breath and make sure you actually count to 3 as you go up into that handstand. And I promise, for me, sometimes that felt like 10 seconds up there in the handstand.
Indeed. All right, it looks like the judges are getting it all together, putting those scores in to the Virtual Stars Gymnastics system of scores. Robert Davis, our programmer extraordinaire, has been working day and night to put this together for us, and it's been working out great. So thank you, Robert, for all your work. And we are ready for the next guy on floor exercise, Malcolm Moore from NIU. Take it away, Malcolm.
Taking that deep breath before stepping into the floor with nice precision. It's always good to think about your routine before you go. Ooh, beautiful triple full. Nice control. I love the extension in his presentation in the corners. Oh, stuck double back as a third pass. That's absolutely something you like to see. Really demonstrates his power. Something a lot of people don't realize is each pass in your floor routine, it gets exponentially harder because you're more and more gassed. So you might be able to do your dismount completely fine every time on its own in workout. But at the end of a 6-pass routine, it's a lot harder. So putting that double back as the third pass, very impressive.
Yeah, it's a different skill altogether.
Ooh, so close with that blind landing 2.5.
Beautiful 2.5 twist dismount, a difficult landing, and he did a very good job. He was high in the air, decent form, and just a small little hop at the end there. I didn't see the judges raise their hands, so it doesn't look like he got the stuck landing position for that. But he did a beautiful routine, powerful, and with control.
And he stuck the double back.
And he stuck the double back, so that's all we care. So if Nate and I were judging this, we would give him the most valuable.
You get green flag for the third pass. Credit, right?
Can we just just choose a pass to give the credit to, right?
Oh, it's always going to be the back layout.
It is allowed. So we have one more athlete on floor exercise from NIU, Mr. David Dormund, and he is ready. The judges are ready. Thumbs up or ahead, and let's go then, Mr. David. Take it away.
Ooh, nice solid double backs from this team today.
Yeah, and you can see that he was high enough and tight enough that he was able to kick out and find the ground prior to the landing. That is also one of the things that we're looking for, is that preparation for landing. You can't just kind of hit the ground like it's a surprise. You got to be looking for it with your body as well as your eyes. Ooh, nicely done.
Ooh, nice
Combination
whip
right there.
back front 1.5.
You can tell he's putting a lot of difficulty into his routine early in the season, taking
Ooh.
taking a little bit of extra risk, maybe some skills that he's, maybe makes it almost all the time, but still needs to clean it up. But hey, you put it in your routine as long as it's safe, and then you clean it up throughout the
Absolutely.
season.
I think that's the first time I've seen a combination into a Rudy this competition.
That's true.
Ooh. Got to do what you got to do to save it.
Yeah, you got to get to that corner, take a breath before the last pass. 2.5.
Ooh, nice control on that 2.5 though.
David, well done indeed. And that concludes the first rotation of the first GymACT dual meet, virtually put together by gymact.org and Virtual Stars Gymnastics. Ladies and gentlemen, we're rocking and rolling here, and we're going to head back to the Georgia United facility. And we are at the convention center, and it looks like we still may have at least a couple of guys, or is that already a Georgia United athlete, or are we still in the juniors over there? I can't quite tell from the distance. David, what are we looking at? You're muted on Zoom, sir. If you don't mind unmuting yourself.
We are still on juniors. I apologize for the mute.
No worries. So just, can you give me a heads up as to how many juniors you still have left on Pommels before we go? And I can fill in the gap of time talking to my friends here on the Zoom call.
This is the last junior right now. This is the last junior.
Then I have very little time at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you to everyone who's here with us. Judges, I would like to welcome you officially to this meet, having already done your job in one full event. I have my brother from another mother, Mr. Nat Hammond from Las Vegas, Nevada. He's here with us. Nat and I go back a long way. We were teammates in college at Brigham Young back in the last millennium. And he knows me way too well for me to put his microphone on Zoom. So I'm going to leave him muted here the whole time. We have from, if I can bring my other page so I can actually get these things down. We have Mike Cook from Hillsboro, Oregon. And Mike comes to us with a long-standing history in the gymnastics, both as a competitor and as a judge. Mike, thanks for being here. And we have from Chicago, Illinois, Mr. Paul Evat. And Paul, thank you for being here. Paul, I understand you actually own a couple of gymnastics facilities. So taking your time from a busy life to be here with us. We really appreciate you being here, bringing your expertise and your knowledge and your professionalism to judging this event. So thanks for being here, judges. Once again, I want to say hello to my brother, Robert Davis, who is the digital brains behind the operation. He tells me what buttons to push, and I talking to the mic, making stuff up, and then he corrects me again. That's how the relationship goes. So,
Breeze, if you want to keep talking, because we are ready for Georgia United.
It
the judges
looks
are
like
ready.
we are ready to go. So no, people want to shut me up, and the judges are ready. I'm just going to go ahead and state for the record that on Pommel Horse, we're switching the judges ever so slightly. Not still the execution judge, but we're going to have Mike Cook be the first difficulty judge. To me, D is still deductions. I have an old brain. So, but anyways, we're ready to go. So we're going to go to Georgia United, the first athlete on Pommel Horse. If you're following along the list right there on our website is Mr. Jamin Rasmussen. And I am butchering that name beautifully. The most beautiful butcher ever. Jamin.
Glorious. This is definitely
let's go ahead and start Pommel Horse. Good luck,
event.
sir. Coaches, you can always verbally slash me for saying things wrong and incorrectly. And judges, if you hear me saying something wrong about judging, call me out on it.
A nice scissor full.
Scissor full with a hop.
Pommel Horse is definitely the most nerve-wracking event. Before you're on it, while you're on it, it's Pommel Horse. Oh, that was a nice skill.
I like
he
that.
He flew across the horse there. Lovely. Pommel Horse is one of those ones, no matter how many times I practiced it, no matter how many routines I hit, when it got to competition time, a part of you was still just a little bit really nervous.
Yeah. It's you give me 1 second with the narration here, Nathan. I'm going to talk to the judges for just a moment. Yes, judges. Okay, well, let's address that right now then. And it's being brought to my attention that the pommel horse at the Georgia site seems to be a little bit low. And it's not FIG requirement, where for the college guys by NCAA rules, which is the rule book that we follow along here, the horse has to be to the same specifications as the federal Fédération Internationale de Gymnastique, FIG. You knew I had to do that just because I can.
That was glorious.
I know. So it's a simple thing to fix. Now, judges, are we? I'm going to talk to the judges again, and you. Are we going to consider that just a warning then, and make sure that both teams are one more up from where they are right now? So let's go ahead and Ethan, go ahead and tell the boys one more. Yeah, he was either a really tall gymnast or that horse was low. Thanks for bringing that up, Mike. I was wondering the same thing. I was like, wow, those boys' legs are long.
Same. I'm used to being around taller gymnasts, but I was kind of blown away.
So the judges are making a decision right now as far as that being a deduction or not. We have it. We're going to give them a warning for this, primarily because we're still discovering things in the virtual world and trying to figure out how to address some of these minutiae of the rules. And we're going to go ahead and also the fact that, they're taking over the equipment that was just used by a juniors team and probably just, slipped their minds to raise the horse up. So we're going to move along. That was not a deduction for height or anything, but now he looks tiny next to that horse. And this is Mr. Hunter Clulo, and he is from Georgia United. Hunter, take it away. Gonna have to jump a little extra high for that first mount circle. Did a great job.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice,
it helped him.
Hey.
It helped him. Yeah.
It's less gravity. It's further away from the earth now.
That's exactly what it is. Much further extension.
Ooh, good fight. Good fight.
He was fighting for that one. Didn't quite get that around. Now the question is, does he repeat the skill or does he move on? And that's a decision that he, his coach, and the judges can have some input on that, depending on what it is. But in that
that's
case,
always a frustrating one, is deciding how hard you have to fight versus how much you're going to lose.
You still know you got a long routine ahead of you, and there's a lot of skills to go. Was that really worth it? That was not a...
Looks like you choose to repeat the skill. Going for the pirouette dismount. Yes, oh, indeed. There, yes!
Puts it together. Well done,
beautiful.
Mr. Hunter Clulo from Georgia United, with his hometown of Noonan, Georgia. I'm going to have to get out a map.
Putting that circle handstand. Yeah, putting that circle handstand at the end of your routine, on its own, it's a very fun skill. You fly up to handstand and go down and back. But after putting 10 skills together sequentially, your arms, your shoulders are tired because ideally nothing but your hands ever touch the pommel horse.
That's
so
right.
You've been supporting yourself for 10 of your hardest skills, and then you try to swing up to that handstand and pirouette down and back. Perfectly precise, making sure you fall on the correct side of the pommel horse. That was very nice to see.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, you can go up on a horse, with fresh arms and do 5 or 6 dismounts in a row, and it's easy to do, but you put them at the end of the routine. And if you're counting, these guys are doing, anywhere between 20 and 50 circles in a routine before they do their dismount. So let's go ahead and move on to the next athlete from Georgia United. We have Mr. Kruin Usht. Utch. I'm going to go with Utch. I'm not being corrected, so I'm just going to make it up. Starting with the scissor work. Having a little trouble.
Scissor work is one of the required elements. That was some interesting, intricate leg work in the scissors there, not commonly seen.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Looks like Kruin is having a little bit of trouble here on pommel horse, but he's going to come back and make a decision with his coach right there, whether or not to repeat that circle and move on. Go ahead, Nathan.
And for those watching, I know when my father used to watch pommel horse, he would say, it looked like you just hopped off the horse. But depending on what angle you're looking from, it's that the circle will throw you off the horse if you're off by just this much. I promise these guys are not giving up. They've trained their whole life for this. They're fighting for every ounce of it. So when they come off the horse, that was gravity's decision, not their decision.
That's right. If your shoulders are slightly off on the 1 or 2 circles before, it just goes a little further each time, and there's no bringing it back. Yeah, there's a lot of...
No matter how hard you try.
Indeed, indeed. I just want to take a quick say a quick hello to the nearly 50 people that are still with us here watching this gymnastics meet. Thank you for being with us. That's awesome. And, you know, right now, 50. In fact, we've had a total of 200 already check in and check out, and these people are coming and going. We appreciate you. We appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you for keeping gymnastics alive.
Yeah, indeed. Save gymnastics, hashtag, baby. And we are getting ready, not quite with the judges still deliberating a couple of things on that last routine, but the next athlete will be Adam Hutchinson from Georgia United. Moving right along with the competition, I'm going to go ahead and go back to gallery view because we can see the NIU guys warming up.
So when you see Adam sitting there looking like he's a little bit dizzy or maybe like he's standing on the water, what he's doing is he's visualizing his pommel horse routine. And oftentimes when you're picturing that routine in your head, you end up doing these little moves because you're going through the routine skill by skill, making sure that you do it perfectly in your head. So then you can execute it perfectly on the pommel horse.
And he's ready to go. So let's let him because the judges are ready. This is Mr. Adam Hutchinson. Take it away, Adam.
Taking a nice deep breath, getting situated, and off we go.
The calm before the storm. Speed, power,
yeah.
agility. Pommel horse takes it all. It's the only event really that you're fighting gravity 100% of the time in the entire routine. There's no...
Ooh.
Unfortunate.
He was having nice extension.
Yeah. I was just about to say, you're fighting. You're always putting pressure on the horse. You're trying to keep that momentum going. The circular angles. It's hard, man. And in every other event, you have a little bit of respite. On floor, you get to do a little arm swing and you get to rest a little bit. And, on, you know, every other event, you have some sort of variation. On pommel horse, you're just in support the whole time.
And you never get to stop.
That's right. And you saw that he was eager to get right back on the pommel horse again because he actually has only 30 seconds to remount the pommel horse before it becomes a pretty hefty deduction. So in 30 seconds, the coaches went there and checked some of the spinners, made sure that everything was nice and solid, and a beautiful ending of the routine for Mr.
Dismount.
Adam Hutchinson. Well done. As I'm talking,
and on that skill that
he's working.
On the skill that he fell on, a lot of people might not realize when you are traveling backwards on the horse, you can't really see where that handle is that you're trying to grab. So your body is spinning around you. You're on one hand, you've lifted up the other one, and you're trying to put your hand right on that pommel. I'm surprised people ever make it.
It is certainly a point of contention. It's one of those things that many fingers have suffered from that exact skill right there. Yours truly included. I have a few jammed fingers and one possibly dislocated from that very skill. So, which is why I actually never touched the pommel on my Savato. I went over both pommels, just got across the horse as fast as I could, got it over with. That way we didn't have to deal with it. So
is that the same value?
It's the same value. Yeah. If you go over the pommels, it's the same value. If you go from pommel to pommel, then it drops in letter grade. But it is actually time for us to rotate from one portion of the country to another, going out to St. Charles, Illinois. The next athlete is ready to go. I'm just going to get a thumbs up from the judges. Judges ready to go? Awesome. Thank you so much. And let's go. This is Mr. Joe Bajak from Northern Illinois United.
Oh, he's ready to go.
He is ready to go. Ready to take it down. Let's go. Ride that beast. He does.
His hips are very strong athlete. Far off the pommel horse.
Yeah, he's got a lot of strength in his upper body. He's swinging with very controlled circles, kind of muscling it a little bit, using literally his strength to get across the routine. And of course, you want to see a little bit more extended. Oh, unfortunate on that shoulder position. You want to extend your hips a little bit more. That is a deduction for not to have a fully extended body. The body is required to be in a straight line, no bending at the hips. And he makes it on a second attempt. Well done. Great job, Joe. That was fantastic. And I mean, it's always nice. Mistakes. I was just going to probably say the same thing you do. It's a nice thing to something goes wrong in the middle of the routine, but you get right back on that horse, as the saying goes, and you finish it strong and proud. You know that your teammates are counting on you. You know that there's so much riding, not just your own gymnastics, but there's a lot of pressure for representing your team and your school, and your friends and family are also there watching you. And you want to make sure that you do the best gymnastics that you can. And, you know, miss this dismount, go and try it again and pull it off beautifully. That was a great job by Joe.
Absolutely. There's a lot of pressure in the juniors when you're competing, but the team aspect of collegiate competition gives you that extra bit of fire, that extra adrenaline, that drive to do better, because you're not just competing for yourself, you're competing for your team, and you want your teammates to do better. And everybody's been struggling in the gym together, working hard, grinding on these routines. So you have that little extra bit of fire trying to hit that routine for the team.
Indeed. Indeed, you do. And I'm just waiting here to make sure that Cole is ready to go, and looks like he is, because the judges are ready for him. So Cole, as soon as you're ready, your green light is on, sir. Salute the judges and take it away. Cole Schreiber from Northern Illinois United.
Oh, he's got some fast circles up there. I love seeing a lot of speed on the pommel horse. Some athletes swing slower, some swing faster, but it's definitely, in my opinion, it's more exciting when you see this kind of speed and just agility on the pommel horse going round and round as fast as he can.
Yeah, I equate it to running down a hill when you're on a hike. You know, if something starts to go wrong, by the time that happens, you're off that rock and you're on to the next thing, and you just move on and carry on to the next skill. And, you know, like the small mistakes didn't even happen. And the other thing is too, you know, these judges are humans. So if you circle fast enough, they can't write that fast. So take that to your advantage.
Swing as fast as you can, and the zoom will glitch.
That's right. If you can swing faster than the speed of the frame rate of zoom, then your pommel horse is going in the right direction.
I love it. Right now, they're just adjusting the pommels, getting them to the individual desired width of the athlete. Some people like them closer together. Some people like them further apart. It's all personal preference.
That's right. That's right. And these guys are all coming from various gyms from their junior careers. So they might have worked out with some really tall guys who had the pommels, you know, 8 feet wide, and they just had to learn how to circle like that if they want to be on that team. So when you get to a college team with these guys from all across the state and country, you got to keep adjusting the pommels in and out all the time. We don't let our juniors do that so much. All right, so it looks like the judges are ready, as well as the athlete.
Awesome.
And we are going to move on. This is going to be Mr. Micah Puckett from Northern Illinois United. Micah, your green light is on, sir.
Deep breath and go. Oh, nice scissor travel up. Got a nice fluidity to his circle.
Yeah. Just as you say that too, of course, he made it a point to show that if you barely tap the pommel with your legs, how much of the momentum is taken away by that. But he was able to push back and get that speed, continue going. Good job flowing through the dismount. Well done for the raised value across the pommel horse and back, pumping his arms up and down because he knows he deserved it. That was fantastic.
That's what we like to see.
Well done indeed. These guys are working hard for every 10th. They are fighting for it. You could tell that he had a little bit of a struggle there in the middle of the routine, but then, you know, he pulled it together and showed off to the very end with tenacity and speed. I really appreciated that.
Yeah, you pull that extra little bit of energy out.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, sometimes that little glitch is what you need to really push forward. You know, give you a little extra power for the rest of the routine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the screen that I'm pulling up for the numbers. I can tell that it's a little pixelated, but that's a matter of the fact that I'm using a low resolution screen to show those numbers. So I just kind of give you an idea of what's going on with the numbers here. Let me try to maximize that. Try to see if it looks better. Nathan, on your end, can you see these right here? Can you see the numbers? Are they?
That looks a little better now. Yeah, I can definitely read the scores now. Right. That's so much better.
I'll zoom in so that we can see it. Here's the pommel horse scores. We can also go all the way up to the very top and see that the team scores right now. We're at Georgia United with 78.3 and Northern Illinois with a 75.4. And these scores may change because, as you may have noticed, there are 6 athletes from Northern Illinois and only 5 scores count. So as we go down the list of athletes, you know, the scores may change as we go. So let's go ahead and go to do the spotlight for Joey, because the judges are ready and so is he. So Joey DiRienzo on pommel horse from Northern Illinois. Joey, take it away.
This is the first guy we've seen mount in the front loop position so far today.
Yeah.
Beautiful Magyar.
Yeah, he's playing to his strengths. Got a good swing in a circle, good body position, fairly extended. The pendular swing. We're talking about the requirements of a routine. Of course, there are 4 requirements on every event, but vault. And these guys have to do, obviously, the swing, the circling skills. Oh, that's unfortunately, Joey. That was looking so good. Kept on traveling a little too far.
Sometimes, man, you think you're doing well in your routine, and then if you let your mind slip for even just this much time, I mean, a fraction of a second, because you have to make adjustments as you're spinning around on each circle. If you lose focus for even a little bit, the horse will buck you right off.
Indeed. There's no time to waste. Going for a full Russian dismount right there. Unfortunately, didn't quite get around. Now is the decision on whether or not he's going to repeat that dismount for credit. Yes, he is. All right, Joey, let's go. Come on, bring it to.
Come on, let's get it, buddy.
All right, a simple flank off for a clean dismount, getting that requirement of needing to have a dismount in your routine. And that was a good choice by Joey DiRienzo. Once he's fallen down a couple times on the Russian, then just to finish with elegance and poise, and you know, just make sure that you get the best skills at the end of the routine, so that you leave a good impression at the end. That's important.
Absolutely. Always, my coaches taught me, whenever you finish your routine, I don't care how that routine was, you salute, you hold yourself with confidence, and you leave the event with pride.
Yes, your coaches did tell you that. I know that for a fact.
Do you know my coaches?
I happen to know a few of them.
Let's see.
So you're watching, but we're not letting you listen to the conversation. But the judges are definitely talking about, you know, some of the fine details of the rules of gymnastics, and there are so many. The rule books. In fact, we have several rule books. We have the FIG Code of Points. We have the NCAA rule books, and now we also have added to that some of our own special sort of not requirements, but things that we do within the GymACT spectrum as well. So, but these guys are competing NCAA rules, and the judges and the athletes are both ready. So let's go. This is Zach Cipra from NIU. Those of you who have been following the GymACT programs, you know that Zach got the best location for his handstand hold during the handstand hold competition.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Nathan will
I remember that
clearly.
I wonder if he's still cold.
Right. I know.
Ooh, flared Magyar.
Yes, flared Magyar.
That's what we like to
Thank you
see.
so much, Mr. Cipra. This is a beautiful way to start a routine, showing off with flair. Yeah, I know. I did it.
Yeah, you had to. It's okay.
At least once or 7.
Going up for his dismount.
Pommel loop for this.
Doing that pirouette.
Yes, indeed. Well done, Zach. That was beautiful. He and his teammates should definitely be happy with that performance, bringing home a strong routine and quite possibly a strong score for his team and his teammates there. You know, I'm gonna say possibly because I'm not the one judging. I was, you know what? Just with that flare mountain,
I would give it a nice
like
score.
At least 3 points extra just for that. That's in my book.
That was a beautiful flared Magyar. I love to see the legs just flying around, and it's. Some people say it's easier. Some people say it's harder, but I think everyone can agree that it's more entertaining.
It is such a beautiful thing. Of course, Thomas Flares from Kurt Thomas, American gymnast who recently passed away. So rest in peace, brother. He created that. Well, he was the first athlete to do that skill in competition internationally. So the skill bears his name. All right, here we go. The judges are ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and spotlight back to Northern Illinois. This is the last athlete on pommel horse, David Dormand. David, take it away.
Being the anchor man is almost as stressful as being the first guy up. It's either your job to bring everybody back, so when you go into your next event, you ended on a strong routine, or if everybody's hit, you got to keep that momentum going.
That's right.
He's got a beautiful line, nice extended circles, keeping his legs straight around the 3/4 mark.
Very
nice
smooth.
single pommel work.
Yeah. That is so incredibly difficult. I mean, this pommel horse, the pommels are only a little over an inch wide, not a whole lot of room. He's doing these turning skills in one pommel where there's barely enough room for 2 hands, and he's got to have enough for 4 hand placements across the one pommel. That's hard to do. Russian dismount with extension at the end. Beautifully done. That was David Dormand, and he performed an amazing pommel horse.
I stopped talking halfway through it. I didn't want to jinx it. I found myself mesmerized by the routine. I couldn't say anymore. I just wanted to watch.
Yeah, and watch we did. That was just beautiful.
And the thing was, he didn't just have one thing in there. He had his single pommel work, he had his travels, his scissor work. He had it all.
Right. Yeah. So many athletes are, they work to their strengths, and some are really good at circles, some are really good at flares, some are really good at pendulum swings and scissors. It looks to me like David had complete control on all the different aspects of the pommel horse routine, just like you're saying, and not just fulfilling the requirements of each of those kinds of skills, but he's actually excelling at them and bringing some difficulty for each one, and then performing it beautifully. That was really, really nice. I loved seeing that.
That was such a good routine. They had to take the horse down.
Yeah. Yeah. So the one thing that that's what the judges are talking about right now, I'm sure of it, is that in the middle of one of his flop sequences, or all of those circles that he does in one pommel, he did take a step down in one moment there with one hand and then got back on the pommel again. And that changes the value of the skill. And does it become 2 different skills? Does he get nothing because he just broke in the middle of it and that second half doesn't count? That's for the judges to make a decision. Of course, the rules do specify exactly what needs to be done in that case. It's just a matter of what did he actually perform, what was actually seen, and what action will the judges take there. So judges have a tough job with that particular routine. As beautiful as it was, unfortunately, he did make a couple of mistakes right there in the middle, but it's still certainly going to be bringing home a pretty strong score there for David. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do the spotlighting here for the scores and see what's going to come up for these guys. And you see that the pommel horse scores coming in right now with the deductions, 2 points off, which is it's a very low number. So basically, this is the deduction that you see here is how many points did he lose from being perfect, right? And you can see that by level of execution that we have the best executions on pommel horse were by Cole and by David. So they did a great job there. And not a lot of the execution errors, and we just have to see what the judges is. A 14.0 start value. That's a good start value with the 2 points off for execution. Then you see the final score right here with a 12.0 final score, the highest score of the evening on pommel horse. That then brings our total team scores up at the top of the page. Right there, we have Northern Illinois University with 112.8, and we have Georgia United with 78.3. Now, I do have to point out that the rules for NCAA do call for 6 athletes are allowed to compete and 5 scores count for the team for every event. So Georgia United, they only have 5 guys on their team competing today. So in most of these events, they're only going to be competing 4 athletes on each event. So obviously their scores are going to be lower. For the NCAA Road to Nationals website, which keeps track of the national rankings for all of the varsity NCAAs as well as the GymACT teams, so that we are all on the same level playing field. The rules currently state that you have 5 scores counting per event. Now, there is a caveat to this particular meet, is that these teams are both a GymACT team, and as such, we are keeping track of the the rules that we're going by for GymACT is that on the side, besides the Road to Nationals national ranking, we're also doing the conference scores. And for the GymACT conference only, we are only counting 4 scores per event. So we're not going to do the math for everything today because it's going to get too complicated. But if you're at home and you're a geek and you want to look at those tables and figure out for yourself, we are going to be announcing it at the end of the meet, which one of the teams will get the W for the conference championship seeding, if you will, based on the 4 scores up 4 count. So then it's a level playing field between these 2 teams. But in relationship to the whole national level, on roadtonationals.com, you will see that the ranks there are for all of the university level teams are ranked on the same level playing field. So GymACT teams are going against all of the other teams. In order to go to national championships, a team has to score above a certain level as a team, and that level currently is 275 points. So either one of these teams today score more than 275 points, and they are automatically qualified to national championships at the end of the year. So there are a couple of things going on at the same time here that we're addressing. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what's going on here. It looks to me like these guys are still warming up, but I'm going to get the official word from David Pomerantz, the MC extraordinaire from Georgia United at the Atlanta International Convention Center. And
I'm not sure about the extraordinaire. I do appreciate the confidence, though.
I had to keep going to keep those adjectives going because you weren't talking yet.
No, I got you. Our junior competition just started. Our first boy has gone on rings.
All right.
We have 3 more juniors to go, and then we will be ready for Georgia United.
All right. So I'll say it again, just in case the folks didn't hear that. We have 3 more juniors on rings left before the Georgia United guys begin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a couple of things that we can talk about here for this extra time that we have, right? What I would love to do is...
There was one question I had.
Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
If we went back to the scores thing, I know I noticed it, so some people might be questioning it. One of the scores had an adjustment of -4 points. I believe it was in the first set from the floor exercise, or maybe the pommel horse.
We could address that.
But one had an adjustment of -4, and it was only one. So if we could explain what that is.
So I'm actually going to bring Mr. Nat Hammond onto the Zoom call if he can, and I will address that myself. That the pommel horse, is that what you're saying?
This is Mike.
Yeah, where we had a...
This is Mike. I was the judge on that, and I can address that.
Yeah, Mike, why don't you go ahead then?
So this guy had a very short routine. He had only 1, 2, 3, 4. He had only 5 counting parts for him. And there's, so a gymnast is supposed to have 10 counting parts in their routine. And if you have a very short routine for whatever reason, there can be a big deduction for that. So that's what this guy had. He had only 5 counting parts. So that was 4.0 deduction for that.
Awesome. Thank you for explaining that.
That is exactly how it works, is that in order to go from a 10.0 for the execution, you have to have a minimum of 7 skills, right? And then if you don't fulfill that, your routine is short, that would make it unfair. If you can just get up and do 2 skills and get off and have no mistakes at all, it wouldn't be fair to give you that full value of that execution allotment. So this is one of the ways that we keep track of that to make it more fair for the athletes. And, the rules are designed to be like that. So
absolutely. It ups the difficulty and makes you do a lot more skills and makes the routine more fun to watch. Because if it was just 1 skill and done, it'd be quite boring. That's
right. That's right. And you know what? I am still going to bring Nat over here because I want to have a quick chat with each of the judges just briefly, just while I see that he's trying to eat, and I'm not going to let him. And Nat Hammond, my bud, what's going on in your neck of the woods there? Are you in Vegas right now? Is that where you are?
I am in Las Vegas. I'm, you know, got a little bit of sunshine outside. Still a little bit chilly, but you know, it's warm in the gym, and these guys are giving their all on these events.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Now, you were the execution judge for both floor and pommel horse. Can I get a glimpse of? This is the segment I would like to call "What Were You Thinking?" And you know, just give me a glimpse of what were you thinking while you were judging these routines. You saw clean things, you saw dirty things, you saw routines that you were impressed by. Just give me a glimpse as to overall, or if you have anything that sticks in your memory as like someone performed something above and beyond, or something that was, you know what, you guys should watch out for this for later in the season. This would be a good time for us to help educate these athletes so that you know, they get a little bit of feedback.
Yeah, definitely. As far as floor exercise goes, the landings were quite a problem. I mean, the first 3 or 4 guys up fell on their first pass. And there's deductions associated with not just the fall, but what their form is like in the air. So if their legs are apart in the air or their legs are crossed, there's going to be deductions even before they land. So that was one of the larger problems that I saw in floor exercise in general, is the landings and then the form in the air on the skills that they did perform. So the scores might look a little low because of that. But if you're getting, I would say 2 points or lower in deductions, that's a pretty clean routine at this point. Ideally, we'd like to get that even lower, but it's going to be very hard. And floor is one of those events where, I mean, there's so many different landings. It's tough to stick every one and, you know, to reduce those deductions. Pommel horse.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys for a quick second. Our last junior competitor is competing right now. So we are about ready for Georgia United.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Go ahead.
And just a quick thought on pommel horse. So pommel horse, the most common skill you see on pommel horse is a circle. That's where they move their body around in a horizontal plane. And ideally that you want to be fully extended, no pike in the hips, and the legs need to stay together and straight the whole time. So as you watch those events, if you see them break, you know, if they do 5 circles and they all look the same and they're piked or they have bad form, those deductions are going to multiply and add up because you deduct every single circle. So that would be why some of those scores on pommel horse were a little low.
Thank you so much for your input there. And then that will definitely help enlighten some of our viewers as well as the athletes who are, you know, at their first meet of the year for most of these guys. Well, the Georgia United guys' first meet of the year, and the NIU still in their second meet. So it's still got a long way to go in the season. We are ready to go on rings. So let me go ahead and pull up, make sure that the judges are ready. I'm getting a thumbs up on the rings. We are going to have as judges for execution, Mr. Mike Cook, and then Nat will be the first difficulty judge for the rings routines. And first on rings from Georgia United is Mr. Adam Hutchinson. Adam, take it away.
One thing for people to realize, those rings are just hanging there and swinging around. So when you see the rings still, they are called the still rings. But when you see someone in a support, in a handstand, in a strength move, those rings want to be going anywhere except where you put them.
Yeah, I really think the name of this event should be called "Make 'em Still Rings," not "Still Rings."
Yeah.
It's a misnomer for sure. I mean, they are incredibly hard to control. You can see right there a little bit of deviation, and they wobble each and every way. So strenuous, incredible upper body strength, control, and then you have some swinging skills which require a lot of flexibility of the shoulders, like that one right there, the Hamna right into a whip it. Those skills are killers on the shoulders. And Adam is showing great control on his routine here, picking up a little bit of swing, those pendular swings, you know, a little trapeze action going on. We're obviously trying to avoid that. That'll be a little bit of a deduction because you're trying to make the rings as still as possible. A beautiful layout half dismount. Well done, Adam. That was a really well performed routine. A good, solid first routine for Georgia United.
Absolutely. One of the things that we always notice about rings is most people, you think about rings, you think of the Iron Cross, or if you are a gymnast, you think about Maltese and all of the strength. But one thing that people don't realize is for the double flipping skills through the rings, like the Hamna and the Yamawaki, it takes a lot of shoulder flexibility. So not only do you have to be strong enough to hold an Iron Cross and to hold your planche and everything else, immediately before and after these skills, you find yourself inlocating and dislocating your shoulders, trying to do all of these flexibility and power moves. And rings is just such a it requires such a wide variety of things from your body that it's just incredible to watch.
That is very true, sir. Very, very true. It looks like our judges are just about ready here. The next guy up on the rings from Georgia United is Mr. Hunter Clulo. And if I can get a thumbs up from the judges as soon as you're ready and we're good to go, here goes Hunter.
I would always be nervous right before jumping up to the rings that I was going to miss.
Every time. And as a coach, every time I lift one of my athletes, I'm like, I hope I don't lean over too far and get my shin taken out by the back of the head.
And speaking of the Iron Cross,
There
he pulls out of
was.
it, defying gravity.
Gymnastics, quintessential skill. Everyone wants to know. As soon as you say, yes, I'm a gymnast, they say, can you do a flip? And the very next question is, can you do the T thing? And
the T thing, yes.
Of course, referring to the Iron Cross, an incredibly hard skill to do. And it's only a B. Kills me.
Ooh.
Nice.
Did we get a flag?
I don't see a hand going up from the judges. No flag. And unfortunately, he had a little bit of a movement of the foot. We saw that, but he was very close.
Shh.
Don't tell them.
Yeah. Another thing that you don't really think about sometimes is you can see the mat move when you land. And that's up to you. That's you and your coaches and your team to make sure that the mats are set properly. Because sometimes you'll land and in workout it happens a lot because it's not competition. You land, that mat will just slide away on you.
That's right. It is and it's you know, it's not the equipment's fault. There are certain things that if it happens, for example, catastrophic, if the cable of the rings rips apart, that is an equipment failure. Then obviously your routine was interrupted because of something that is beyond your control. But the mat moving underneath your feet, your coaches should have figured out a setup that would not make that mat slide down. The meet directors have to provide equipment that is safe. But if you trip over your own feet, that's your own doggone fault. And here we go. We are ready to go with the next athlete on the rings from Georgia United, Mr. Kruin Uch.
Here we go. Nice lifting the chin up, showing that he is ready and proud to execute this routine.
How to pronounce athletes' names. If you don't know, just say it louder and with a German accent. Okay, I can do that.
That's how I live my life. If I don't know, I just say it louder. Ooh, lowering down into an L cross. Nicely done. Ooh, and locked arms all the way down, and then immediately inlocating his shoulders to show that he is also flexible.
Flexible and strong. That is exactly the requirement of rings. Front
Ooh,
full.
front full dismount.
Up on me. I'm not ready for it, and it happens real quick. And a front full.
I love that I competed that dismount for a little bit. It was, no one's ever ready for you to do it.
That's right. So that was,
and sometimes I wasn't ready either.
And he did a great job on rings, like Nathan said, showing both strength and flexibility. Beautifully done, beautiful, long, elegant lines, and that's what we want to see. We want to make the judge's job easy, and we all see that. You know, there's a level of preference of styles of gymnastics, but there is absolutely no question when you see clean, beautifully executed gymnastics, it's just a breath of fresh air. It's a joy to watch, and the judges appreciate it, and you know, not only as a matter of preference, but that also will reflect on the scores. That deduction score will be pretty high if he's keeping his body looking like it's elegant and fluid from one skill to the next.
Absolutely.
Looks like the judges are ready, so let's not hold up things by talking too long. This is Jamelin Rasmussen from Georgia United. At some point, Dave is going to come on the mic and tell me how to actually say that name. But we are all ready to go. So, Jamelin, go ahead and salute your judges. Your green light is on, sir.
Jamin Rasmussen.
Jamin Rasmussen. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Come back again next time he's up. I'm going to mess it up again.
And I'll be honest, I'm not 100% certain that's the pronunciation, but that's what I'm going with.
There's an ongoing debate amongst the teammates. It's a sliding
we have a source
scale.
To cite. Nice rings turned out in that L hold. You don't usually see the rings turned that far forwards.
Look at that. Beautiful. I'm going to take a screenshot of that and show it to my juniors. Trevor, I know you're listening. Will, I see you over there on YouTube watching this. Get your ring grips back on and turn your rings out.
Challenge accepted.
Go NorCal.
Ooh, and a stuck landing. I am loving
was
these unique
nice.
dismounts from this team over here. Back full. That is very hard to do in one flip. I don't think I ever actually tried that, but I know it's difficult.
It certainly is tricky. I tried a few times with nowhere near the success that that Jamelin just get.
Absolutely. I would want to say I missed it on our last event, but circling back to what we were saying about the mat sliding, you said equipment failure. So if like the ring breaks, they get to try again. What if their grips break?
The grip breaking is actually an equipment failure kind of a thing where they would allow the gymnast to repeat their routine. You know, it's one thing if your gripper is slippery, right? Or if there's a little tear on it, but if your grip breaks clean off your hand, you know, you just split in half, then you are allowed. And typically what happens is you go at the end of the team, you get to be the last guy up and take that place. And you know, if you were the second to last, or if you were the last guy on the team at that rotation, then you got to turn around and go real quick right back on again, because you don't get to
Good
wait
luck
until the next routine, next event. So it looks like we are moving along now to the other side of the country. I looked it up earlier. It is 720 miles apart from Atlanta. These guys are over in St. Charles, Illinois, and the first athlete for Northern Illinois University is Brian Turva. This is the first athlete from excuse me. This is yes, this is Brian Turva. This is his first. Wait a minute. I'm going to say it again.
Oh, they just swapped him out on us.
Josh, if I read the proper list, I'm throwing you guys off. So I'm going to apologize right now. Jamelin was up first on rings. So let's take a half a step back there. My apologies.
Okay.
I was trying to do too many things at once. So
No
Jamelin
problem.
Miles from NIU, first athlete up on rings.
Okay.
He was ready to go. Let's not take that. Jamelin will go first. Yes.
It takes a lot of mental energy for the athletes to stay focused during these times.
Yes, it does. This is Jamelin. He's the first guy from NIU, just to make sure that the judges are ready. And Josh, please send my apologies to Jamelin there for throwing him off like that. That is completely uncalled for. Jamelin, hopefully he's going to be as strong of mind as he is of body. I've seen his warm-ups, and he's going to show us some great stuff. So Jamelin, as soon as you're ready and focus, take it away. I saw the two names back to back, and I skipped one.
Ooh, nice. Ooh.
Front up rise.
I always love to see a good front up rise.
True to form, showing off.
Nice turnout with the rings again.
Yeah, so it
is much harder than it looks to hold that handstand.
Dismounts with a simple flyaway. You know, he just got off, tried to get do the best he can to just get off cleanly, but not the dismount he was hoping for with that extra swinging pendular swing that the rings had there. Unfortunately, didn't quite finish as strong as he was hoping for. But the first half of that routine certainly was beautiful, strong, with control. I liked seeing it.
Absolutely beautiful. And then once those rings start swinging, you just have to really pull into yourself, focus, rely on your training, because, you know, as the rings go this way and this way, there's a certain timing to bail on each side to get it right, but you have to have the control and the body control in the position to make sure you bail at the right time. Otherwise, the swing just gets bigger and bigger, and it's very difficult to manage.
Yeah, sometimes no matter how much swing you have, we actually train that. And you may remember that from your training days, where you get as much swing as you can on the rings and you try to hold the handstand, because you need to figure out where to bail to stop the rings from swinging on the next skill. And if you're not in control of the handstand, you will bail at the wrong time, and then it all
you will go somewhere.
You will definitely go somewhere. So now, with his first performance of the day, this is Brian Turva on rings from Northern Illinois United. Northern Illinois is one of those tricky combinations of words for me. You know, I gotta say it. The English is a second language. That throws me off. So anyways, Brian, as soon as you're ready, judges, you ready to go? Thumbs are up. We're going.
someday I'll be able to have an excuse like that saying it's my second language. But if I mess up, it's just because I messed up.
It's the Irish in you.
Ooh, that was...
Oh, I know.
There's a lot of story behind that. I have no problems with Irish people. Nice back lever.
Indeed.
Looking very strong. Pulling out.
Pulling out of it. Just to show that he not only had control, but he can just pull out of that. Full body extend.
And I would like to take a moment. He kipped to that L. And most of the times when you see people do a kip to L, which is the position he's in right now, their feet drop below horizontal. It takes an incredible amount of core strength to make it so your feet do not drop. And he was able to do that. That was very impressive.
That was the first kip L I've seen in a long time with no deduction for the dropping of the legs. That is very true. It's a...
I was going to say, for the no deduction, you've seen me do bad kip Ls for many years.
I've seen many bad kip Ls, mostly from you. Nathan, thanks for being here. All right, let's give him a little bit of backstory. Nathan was an athlete at our gym at Ohana Gymnastics here in Santa Cruz, California, from the time he was like itty bitty, and competed all through high school with us and did very well for himself. Co-national champion on floor exercise as a junior. Well done there. Made his way to UW, competed 1,000 years for them there.
Only 5.
And you were the team captain. At least you're a senior year, but you're more years than that.
I think it was my last 2 years. Yeah.
Your last 2 years as a team captain.
Senior and super senior year.
Yeah, very, very cool. I had the pleasure of watching you compete with your teammates in college and see the amazing amount of energy and enthusiasm that you brought to that team, which still carries to this day. Some of the shenanigans that you came up with, I know, are still enduring. So congratulations on instilling the incredible amount of helping your teammates maintain the passion for the sport. That's awesome.
Thank you. Speaking of helping my teammates, if this guy's ready and the judges are ready, let's not keep him standing.
Shush. Cole Schreiber. He's ready. Judges are ready. Let's go.
Beautiful.
It takes a village to shut Breeze up.
or a well-timed phrase.
Don't worry, I had
nice smooth. Ooh, nice planche. Yeah. That's a skill I was never. Wow.
I like that.
How he came out of that planche was very unique. I haven't seen that in a very long time.
It was fun to watch.
Ooh. Those giants, man, coming from handstand, finishing handstand on 2 rings that want to be anywhere but underneath you, very difficult.
Half in, half
almost
out.
Got the stick.
A little bit too far open on his body position. Needed to get a little further around. Did a great job. That was Mr. Cole Schreiber from NIU with a great ring set. Some creative moves going on there. And that's the thing about gymnastics, right? We not only do you want to fulfill the requirements, but you want to make it look fun to watch, right? And that's what Micah did there. Excuse me, Cole. Cole did that beautifully with that front bail. I think Yuri Keki was the gymnast from Italy that created that skill. And
the redheaded Italian with the Russian name.
Yeah, I have a beautiful long story to tell you about Yuri, but I'm not going to because the judges are pretty much ready to go. But I had the distinct pleasure and honor to compete against him one time in my life, and it was an incredible experience. So let's go back to NIU at St. Charles. And this will be Micah Puckett. And the judges are ready. Micah, take it away.
Great. And that's a great time to acknowledge the fact that this is the fastest I've ever seen judges work. Normally you're waiting on the judges, but our judges are killing it today.
Indeed, they are. With much gratitude to them for the hard work, and also for Robert at Virtual Stars Gymnastics for putting together a system that is clean and easy to use for them to enter the scores. And as long as I keep my mouth shut, when they are ready and the guy is ready, this meet is going to run faster than we've ever seen it.
Absolutely. We're seeing some great lines during this routine. His kip L, he kept his feet pretty close to horizontal, arms pretty straight on that press.
That was that out of control handstand, nice and clean. But he happened to fall at the right time to go perfectly still on the next skill. That was awesome. Double back with a stuck landing.
And the judges are listening, so he totally meant to bail on purpose.
That's right. That was clearly
intentional. But that's one of the things about rings and gymnastics in general, where if you can stay clean, if you can stay focused and calm in your head, you can make decisions because the judges don't necessarily know exactly what order your routine is going to be in. And there's not a set order it has to be. So if you can make it clean, you can limit your deductions, even if it would normally become a fall.
That's right. That's right. And I just verified because I have limited knowledge of the judging aspects of this sport, of course, as there are so many things to know. But for them to receive the actual stick bonus, the athlete has to have a C or higher level skill on the dismount. So a double back is only a B level. So even though he did stick it, you will not see that green flag shown on the scoreboard. All right. So this is now Mr. Micah Puckett from NIU. Micah, when you're ready, go ahead and salute the judges. Yes, thank you, Mike, for that.
David Dortman.
Oh, is Micah? Oh, Micah's score is still coming up. That's what it was. Threw me off there. So Micah already went. Of course, he can't go twice. That's not allowed. I know that part of the rules. So David Dortman.
He's just going to change uniform and hop up.
That's right. Put a different jersey on him. So David, whenever you're ready, Josh, go ahead and bring him up. The scores for Micah are showing up on the scoreboard in real time. Of course, I jumped the gun.
Got a nice toe point from this gymnast.
I know, right? That's the
Always
thing.
nice
the guy
to see.
gets up on the rings, and you can tell I'm already impressed. Right? This is great. Showing form, showing control and confidence. Good.
Wow, nice speed on that Yamawaki.
Yeah.
Picked up a little bit of swing, but he's not letting it affect him. Staying in control, staying tight.
Figuring out
it's the little things in gymnastics. It's that little bit of toe point from the second he left the ground. We all noticed it. The judges noticed it. We noticed it. The crowd noticed it.
Oh, very difficult landing to find the front full from the rings. The front full, one of the hardest things about the front full on the rings is that it's such a fast dismount. I've never seen it go high and fluid. It's just a whipping front full, and the ground comes at you so fast, and it's incredibly hard to stick. But it is a C dismount, and if he stuck that, he would have gotten the bonus flag for the stuck landing. But unfortunately, took a little hop.
Yeah, the front full dismount, sometimes you almost have to let go with one hand slightly before the other, and if you mistime that wrong, you peel off, and it's scary.
Exactly. You kind of peel the arm and go for it. All right, here we go. And next up on the rings from NIU, it is Zach Cipra.
Ooh, another one with good toe point.
Yeah. You can see that
and a strong planche.
Yeah, indeed. And one of the things I was going to bring up is that if you're on a Virtual Stars website, following along in the scoreboard there's something kind of important. There's a little tagline right next to the athletes' names that show a pop-up of some information, some facts and stats about each athlete. And Zach, you can see that has completed on his own at the gym. The 10-10 record for him is 10. Nathan, you will remember that we did a 10-10 challenge for GymACT a few months ago, and only one athlete was able to complete the 10-10, which is 10 presses to handstand and 10 handstand push-ups. And Zach,
and that explains why his giants were so pretty.
That was incredible. Yeah, he was. It's one of those things where you look at these facts and these factoids, and you can kind of put it together. You expect a good ring routine from a guy who can do 10 presses to handstand and 10 handstand push-ups for sure. Nathan,
in one turn without coming down.
Yeah, exactly. And if I remember correctly, well, you can definitely go to our records at Virtual Stars and check out the whole contest. But the winner of that contest happened to be Flint Bornstein from ASU, and he did 10 presses and 11 handstand push-ups. He did one extra.
Yes, he did.
That was pretty impressive.
So the lines on the vault mat, if you land in between, there's no deduction, correct? And then if you land on the outside of those red lines, you get a little bit off for going crooked.
That's right. So the way that the lines are designated is that as long as you're on the line, you're okay. If you step over the line, then that's where the deductions begin.
Just got to keep your toes inside the line.
Yeah, you got to stay inside. So you see these guys warming up right here, and I'm going to go back to gallery view so that we can see what everyone else is doing too. But it looks like both sets are going through warm-ups right now.
Perfect.
So
I'm going to excuse myself for 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining us. My name is Breeze Olson, and I am in Santa Cruz, California, webcasting to you live and in color, if you have a color screen, because this is Virtual Stars Gymnastics and GymACT collaboration for GymACT Live, and this is the competition between Georgia United and Northern Illinois United. These teams are competing in real time in their respective parts of the country. Georgia United is in Atlanta at the Atlanta International Conference Center, and NIU is at St. Charles Gymnastics Academy in St. Charles, Illinois. And these guys are kicking butt here. We got some amazing gymnastics being performed. And I'm going to pull up right here let's go ahead and spotlight and change the camera to the scoreboard. And you can see the last event that we just did on the rings, we had a number of fairly high scores going on in here. And the teams from GAU, Georgia United, and NIU, Northern Illinois University, these guys have done some great jobs. And looking over here at the top of the page at Virtual Stars Gymnastics, the tally of the team scores. Now, once again, these are out of 5 athletes on each event. And right now the tally is as such. Northern Illinois University with 166.2 and Georgia United with 116.2. Now, these are the actual official scores that are going to go once, well, not these, but once they finish the meet, the scores that will go to Road to Nationals website. The Road to Nationals website is the national ranking system that keeps track of all of the college teams in the at the varsity level. So all the NCAA Division I and Division III schools, as well as the armed forces. They are also varsity teams. And the GymACT teams. Our GymACT conference competes against those guys in the same level playing field. In fact, today, at the very same time that we are at this meet, our brothers from Arizona State are competing, I believe, against, oh, I should know this information. I'm going to look that
Breeze,
up.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we've got 2 more junior athletes on vault, and then we are ready for our Georgia United guys.
Perfect. Thanks for the interruption, because I had to try to remember who ASU was going up against. And
I was trying to give you time to find that information. See, I was doing that for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
It takes a village, man.
It does indeed. It does indeed. Yes.
That would be Cal.
Yes, thank you.
Ooh, Cal. One thing that a lot of people aren't super clear on when they hear that there's the NCAA, there's GymACT, and there's all that stuff. Just because the GymACT teams don't necessarily compete at the NCAA Nationals, at all the previous meets throughout the year, GymACT teams will be competing against Oklahoma, Cal, Stanford, Ohio, all of the other teams, the best college teams in the country. And some of the GymACT teams even beat the NCAA teams in their individual head-to-head competitions.
Yeah, that does happen actually quite often, in fact, depending on who you're going against and what day of the week. These GymACT teams are strong, and they're working hard. Like I said, our goal as a GymACT program is to take our team to national championships and to perform well there, and also to help the individuals who are part of our team succeed to the highest level possible of gymnastics. And the highest level possible, if you're going to look at it that way, is
we have the backup camera somewhere.
It's, you know, the international meets representing your country, being part of the national team. And that's what we want to provide, a platform where these athletes who may not be going to an NCAA school, and it's to no fault of their own, they want to pursue the highest level of education they can at any school in the country. And GymACT is here to provide a platform where these guys have the opportunity to continue training gymnastics, competing at a high level, and succeeding at the highest possible level that they can reach. So my job as a coach is to help these guys individually and to help my team get to nationals. So, you know, and I know that that's the sentiment for every one of these coaches as well, which is why we're creating these teams. Georgia United, brand new team this year. These guys have a plethora of athletes that are collegiate athletes at the NAIGC level, and they're doing exceptionally well there. And now they will, many of them will continue competing with at the NAIGC competitions, because they're incredibly fun. I mean, anyone who's ever seen an AIGC meet, you know that it's the most fun you will ever have going to a meet. And there are some.
All right, and Breeze, sorry to cut you off again, but we are ready.
Perfect. So let's just go ahead and get started with this. And just to close up shop, as I look at the buttons, look for the buttons that are in the place for the routines. I will just finish by saying that Georgia United, we are so happy to have you. You guys are incredible looking great and performing amazing gymnastics. So let's see here on the vault. Speaking of Georgia United, is Mr. Kruin Uch on the vault, and judges are ready. Here we go. Kruin, take it away.
Nothing like standing on that cold cement before vault. I always I had a special pair of slippers that I used to always wear for when I had to stand on the cement before vault or floor. Right. I'd always keep my feet warm.
And I hope you don't trip trying to take them off.
I did quite a few times.
Nice job. And that would be a laid out Sukahara. Well done there, Mr. Kruin. And
beautiful vault.
It was a beautifully done vault. He had good power, good. And we talked about Kruin earlier today, how being a tall gymnast makes it difficult for those long body positions, right?
Absolutely. And, but they look so nice in the air when you have a long body going through. And another thing to remember is that when we were talking about the NAIGC, the GymACT, the NCAA, every athlete in GymACT or the NAIGC or NCAA, if you qualify, they can still go to the top level competitions in the United States to try to get on the national team. And there's quite a few athletes that are in GymACT, not in the NCAA, or they might be some in NAIGC, I'm not sure. But there have been athletes on the U.S. national team that are in the contention to represent Team USA on the world scale that are still in GymACT.
Thank you for that. And now, speaking of high level competition, Mr. Hunter Clulo is ready on vault, and so are the judges. And coaches, if you have insight on the vault that these guys are attempting to give us the start values before they go, that would be in the sheets, in the score sheets that you would have turned in. That virtually, of course, we're not doing that. So if you have an insight as to what vault they're about to attempt, and if you know the start value, that's just going to expedite the process a little bit. Of course, the judges have the simple job of determining what vault was actually performed.
All right, we got Bo Buckner is going to be next on vault doing a layout souk.
There you go. Thank you so much. That's perfect.
You're welcome.
That really does make the judge's job a little bit quicker, if not easier. So, but again, you know, never mind the expectations. He's got to do the actual vault to receive the credit for it. All right, and this is Bo Buckner, as stated by my brother out there in Atlanta, Mr. David Pomerantz. Bo, go ahead.
Nicely done. Had a lot of power. Had to take a couple steps back afterward.
That's right. So from a coaching and judging standpoint, I can say, however, that was a very questionable body position. The intention of doing a layout was not entirely clear to me. Now, it's up to the judges to make a decision. Now, we all know what David's intention was for the vault and what Bo's intention was for the vault, but what he actually performed is what we saw just now, live and in color. And the judges will determine the body shape and position, and then look at the score, at the code of points to match the corresponding value to that vault to come up with the start value. So they're not coming up with the start value, they're just establishing it.
Hey, Sabrina, so we've got Jamin Rasmussen up next doing a layout Yurchenko.
Here you go. And the Yurchenko vault is where you're going to see this athlete perform a round off before the springboard, and then reaching backwards onto the table and flipping in the layout position. So let's take it away, Jamelin.
It may look harder you know, because you're going backwards into the horse. But if I'm not mistaken, the value of a Suk and a Yurchenko layout it's roughly the same, correct?
It's exactly the same. Yeah, so the second flight, as they say, after the table is what counts. And he's doing a laid out position flip. Came in a little low onto the table there, and you saw that he didn't get quite the push that he was hoping for with the technique that you're going for. The goal is to be fully extended with your body with a nice tight arch position as you hit the table, so you can get a nice strong snap on the other side to make the flip much faster and stronger. He came in a little short, and when the body is smaller, you don't have as much power. You might flip faster, but not as much power. So
Absolutely.
that is how the cookie crumbles. And it looks like
It
the
is,
judges
and one thing,
are ready for the next vaulter.
Perfect.
The next vaulter, nope, they're still deliberating. So we're just gonna keep showing.
Because sometimes when you get a little amped up, people forget, you know, when you're getting ready for your vault, there's a very specific measurement that you start at. There's that yellow thing on the side of the vault runway. That's that tape measure. And it comes down to the half an inch to the inches, 60.5, 72.3. You know, people start at their very specific spots. And if you get a little bit of adrenaline and you run differently, you're going to hit the board at a different angle.
That's right.
And whenever you run that power, whatever power generated by your legs, that's going into your wrist, that's going into your hands on the horse. And there's a lot of things to
but
take
I'm going to
into
go ahead
account.
and say Malcolm Moore on vault for wait a minute. So we are
I don't see anybody.
from NIU. I know, right? I need to switch my camera. Pay attention, Breeze. So replacing spotlight, we are actually switching from the Georgia United guys over to Northern Illinois with Malcolm Moore on vault. Here we go.
Okay.
Ooh, almost the stuck landing, but right down the middle on that tape line.
Yeah, Malcolm is a powerful athlete. We saw some great tumbling from him earlier today, and again with a good vault. It's a style and a technique that I don't prescribe to, but it certainly gets the job done. He was a laid out Sukahara, but with that aggressive arching and hollowing at the end there. I don't love it, but it is allowed, and it is a particular technique that he chooses to perform, perfectly acceptable. So that was Malcolm Moore on vault from NIU. Up next, Jamelyn Miles from Northern Illinois United. Judges are ready. Let's go.
Here he goes. He switched the springboard out, so it might have it might be a little stiffer. He might like the carpet a little better. It's all personal preference when you have both.
And that was a tuck Sukahara. Well done. Had a lot of speed.
They're going straight down the middle today. It's nice.
Yeah. Those lines are there as a guide. As in training, you use it as a guide, of course, to try to stay on that same plane as you're doing your skills, and it's the most efficient place to be. And then as a rule, if you're off axes, then those become deductions. So these judges are going to be looking at what angle is he flipping in the air? Is he in line with the run? Is he staying on that plane of that line? Now, he doesn't lose points for going off of that center line for the landing deduction, but if his body is skewed during the flip, then that would be a deduction. And it looks like the judges are going pretty quick on this one. So up next on vault from NIU, Zach Cipra.
And there's just that little bit of, look at me, I went straight down the middle and stuck that vault. There's a little bit of extra oomph when you land right on the middle line.
That's right.
Nice, powerful run.
These guys are going for those Suk vaults. There's a nice layout position there for Zach.
And we always see the guys stepping back. When they take a step, they bring that same foot back. Is that considered a second step when they bring their foot back, or is that I'm done, I have control, and I'm coming back to where I was?
Yeah. So it's one of the things I was going to bring up is that the body positions, right? The value of the vault changes depending on what body shape they're in. Whether if they're in a tuck position, then that's the easiest way to flip because your body's small and it flips really fast. Pike position, you flip a little slower. Fully laid out is the slowest of them all. Of course, physics dictates, right? And if these guys, if they think they're not going to make that vault, by piking a little bit, they can make it around. But if they pike too much, then they go from earning the layout credit to earning a piked credit, and therefore a lower valued vault. So it's up to the judges to determine whether or not these guys were in fact laid out or piked, or, you know, for the last couple of vaults that you saw there. So audience members, think for yourselves what you're going to see. Micah Puckett is going to perform his vault. And what do you think? Layout, tuck, pike? Let's check it out.
I'm feeling a nice laid out Suk. I'm hoping he's gonna stick this one. But we will see in a second. Ooh!
All right.
Oh,
What a stuck
nicely
landing!
done.
Indeed, a green flag goes up from our judge, and we have a stuck landing right there, and that's what we're looking for. The green flag, indeed. So not only was he laid out, he put a twist in there, he stuck his landing. That's exactly what you're looking for. You know, all the aspects were there. He was straight down the line. He was straight in his body, and he stuck. I mean, you can't ask for any more than that. Did his job exactly like he's been training, and like exactly the way that you hope to perform when it matters and when it counts. And congratulations for Micah Puckett with a beautiful vault.
Absolutely great vault, and there's no feeling that compares. You stick your floor routine, it's exciting, but when you run full speed down that runway, hit the board, hit the table, go up in the air, and you land, and when your teammates go wild, you've stuck that, you just boom, land with no movements.
Adrenaline to release right there. That's true. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Up next on vault, Mr. Cole Schreiber from NIU. Yeah, you definitely.
Let's see if we can keep the stick train
all
going.
the energy in your body and mind and spirit before you take that first step on the vault, and you just release it as you go, accelerating through the vault runway, explode through the board, and perform the best skill that you can. Right there it was.
Oh, yes!
Stuck landing. NIU
excited.
Pulling together these beautiful vaults all across the board, sticking their landings. Oh, the judges are going to have a tough time figuring out what to take off on that vault. I mean, that was amazing. That was great.
That's what you want to see. 2 stuck landings in a row. That's going to give them. Oh, they have one more vault. Let's see if we can make it
landing.
3.
We got that. Green flag is what we like to see.
2 in a row. Let's make it 3.
2 in a row. I know, right? This is the hardest event to stick because it's a one-shot deal, right? I mean, it's the event is the dismount. So and there is so much. All of that energy that he's taken from running across that vaulting runway and hitting the board, transferring that energy into all kinds of other angles and repulsions off the table, flipping and twisting to find the ground. It's such a small window of opportunity for perfection. And these guys are putting it together one after the other. We love seeing that. It's exciting. They're excited. Their teammates are pumped up, and they're just going to keep that energy. They're just going to keep that energy going for the next couple of routines, no doubt.
We got the hand mat and the board protector down, showing he's going to do the Yurchenko style vault.
A good chance of that. Otherwise, he's just using that mat as a distance measuring.
Are you allowed to do that?
It's a good question.
Are we ready?
I don't see why you couldn't. I think the judges are ready, and I think that David Dermont is ready as well. So let's take it away, David. The last vaulter from NIU at St. Charles.
Let's keep this stick train going, buddy. Come on.
See, can we go 3 for 3 back to back? Let's do this. Nice job.
Adding a half twist though with that blind landing.
Beautiful.
That's a great vault.
That was a great vault indeed. David Dorman, that was a beautifully performed vault. Yurchenko laid out what a 1.5 twists. There's a lot happening on that vault, ladies and gentlemen. If you've ever tried gymnastics, you know how difficult that is. He's going in every direction. He's twisting and he's flipping and his body shape, and then a completely blind landing. You see the ground just before you hit it, but then you do another half turn, take your eyes completely off the floor, and then you have to just know where it used to be and put your plant your feet down right there. That's hard to do.
Yeah, that's the same style vault. I did the Sukahara entry, so I did a Kazumatsu half. So what you've been seeing, just with a twist, so that I had the same exit as he did, and that was always a difficult one to stick.
Yeah, that totally is. So we are at the 2/3 line. We've just finished our 4th event out of 6, and we have a couple more events to go here. And I'm just going to take a little bit of time to bring up a couple of things about GymACT. Right, this is a GymACT event, and we have been working hard all of this last year because the world has been in such turmoil. And there are all kinds of difficulties. We got gyms closing. You got gyms that are kind of partially open. We got teams that are able to train. Some teams are not able to train, and all kinds of turmoil, right? And GymACT has been working hard to help maintain a level of normalcy in these athletes' lives. And one of the things that we did was we did a couple of fundraisers. And as such, we are a nonprofit organization. So if you feel so inclined to helping us out maintaining some of these programs that we're talking about, then hop on over to our website, gymact.org, and find our fundraiser page and donate generously. What we are doing is last year we ended up raising a little over $17,000 that the gymnastics community helped us out with for a couple of very specific purposes. For one of the fundraisers that we did was the hashtag Save Gymnastics fundraiser, that we decided that some of the gyms who have athletes in our programs, there's a total of about 120 of them, of the gyms who had athletes who came from their junior programs into our competitive gymnastics, collegiate gymnastics programs. So these gyms, many of which were struggling and continue to struggle. So we did this fundraiser to help them out, and we raised $7,000 or so, and we were able to send that money directly into their pockets to help divide it evenly amongst all of the teams that were our supporters, our contributors, our affiliated teams, if you will. So that was one of the things that we did. We were able to nationally raise $7,000. That was fantastic. And then a couple of weeks right after that, not only was life difficult enough for COVID and going back to school or not going back to school, the athletes from UIC, University of Illinois Chicago, a number of the athletes from the team there, the place that they lived in, their apartment building, caught on fire, completely destroyed their homes and their livelihoods. We have accounts of the athletes who were found in the street by the coach shortly thereafter, wearing nothing but their shorts. And we did a flash fundraiser. And at that point, the community really spoke loud and clear, supported the heck out of these guys. We ended up raising nearly $12,000 that we were able to send to these guys to help them get back on their feet again. I mean, that's exactly what we're here for. We're here not only to sort of talk about this, the metaphor of life, better life for athletes and better longevity and whatnot. We're actually putting our money where our mouths are. We're making the donations, where the community is contributing, and we're actually supporting directly people who are in immediate need. And for that, I want to say a personal thank you to everyone who has donated for those causes and helped us out. And I so deeply appreciate you guys believing in this sport, in this community as much as we do. So thanks for that. So let's revisit because we have the guys are still warming up on their events there, and it's going to be a little bit of a while because vault is so fast. I see someone coming by here. I'm gonna have to talk to him. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Tyler Green, poking his head right there in front of the camera. If you don't know who this guy is, you're about to. Tyler, are you with us? Can you hear me? We do. He's still trying to figure out the sound part, I'm sure. So Tyler, as soon as you figure out how to connect to that camera there, you let me know, and I'll have a quick chat with you. Meanwhile, we're just going to keep saying that this is GymACT Live competition between NIU and Georgia United, and we are following the format of a junior competition. So what you see in the background there, don't go away, Tyler. I'm going to get right back to you. We're following the format of a junior competition that we call Capital Cup or Modified Traditional, where the guys get to warm up an event and then they compete that event. And there are groups of I think the largest group at the gym there. There are 12 guys on the team. So our group of college athletes, there's only 9 of them competing. So we're going a little faster than those guys. So right now we're just going to give it a little bit of a break, especially because vault is so quick. We got to put the brakes on a little bit on the actual meet for us, so that the athletes have time to warm up and perform to the best of their ability and safely. So that's what's going on. Those guys are the Georgia United guys are at the conference center in Atlanta, and the NIU team is out of their HQ at St. Charles in Illinois, in the outskirts of Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. So what I was going to do is I was going to pull up my other screen. So just keep it small, though. Let's keep it small because we can see the warm-ups happening, and that's kind of fun to watch. So we're looking at the team scores after 4 rotations. And in second place with 163.4, the Georgia United Gymnastics team. And these guys are doing a great job, great start values, and wonderful execution. And moving on with the first place at the moment with 230 points, Northern Illinois University. And doing very well there, NIU. Congratulations so far. Of course, NIU has been posting 5 scores on every event. And Georgia United, they only have 5 athletes in total. So they are only competing 4 guys per event because, that's the safest thing to do at the moment and early in the season. And also because by the rules of GymACT for our conference, we are only counting 4 scores. So these guys are going for, they're working on their W against NIU with only 4 scores. So the scores that you see reflected at Rising Star, at the Virtual Stars Gymnastics, is the score that counts 5 total per event. And that is the requirement for the national ranking system. So that's why NIU is pushing those 5 guys per event, because we're trying to get nationally ranked amongst the other teams to the best of their ability. So one thing that I was thinking of doing is let's have a quick chat with one of the judges, shall we? We're gonna put them on the spot. They're having a good time talking to one another there, so I'm gonna put the pressure on. And Mr. Paul Evat, if you are ready, if you don't mind, go ahead and mute yourself temporarily. Mute yourself in the Discord conversation.
How you doing, Breeze?
Yourself over here. Hi there. Good to see you, sir. So tell me a little bit about yourself. First of all, tell me a little bit about your involvement with gymnastics these days, besides, of course, being a judge, and you just did the execution for both the rings and vault. But outside of the judging scenario, what do you do with your life, and how are you involved with gymnastics?
Yeah, so actually, I'm the typical grew up in gymnastics my whole life, but I quit young, started coaching young. So I quit at 15, started coaching right away. I'm kind of the coach story, and then my first job was coaching gymnastics, and that's really all I've ever done, So we have the program that I own is actually a very large boys competitive team, which is, so one of my teams has 70 boys on team, so it's a very strong competitive boys. So that's a big passion we have at, for us, it's great. So that's really what but now, because with me running the business more, I don't coach nearly as much as I used to. So judging has been my way to kind of stay in the world.
Yeah, that's amazing. And with 70 guys, I'd be willing to bet that you probably have at least a couple of them in college currently that might have come from your program. Do you have more or less of a head count of where and when and where these guys are?
At this moment, one of the guys is NIU right here. We have a couple of guys at the University of Illinois Champaign. We have we just several just graduated. We have a very large group of level 10s right now, about 20. So we kind of had a graduating, we kind of do them. It tends to be like that when they're pods almost, like, and so we had several in the academies recently. But over the years, lots, I'd say between our coaches there, we've had about 50 kids. Now, some of our coaches now have been at other gyms in the area and moved into our club. And, but yeah, there's a lot, from Stanford to, obviously for us, a lot went to UIC and a lot went to Illinois Champaign, and, because that's
just by proximity.
Local. Ohio State and Iowa, a lot at Iowa, right. That kind of thing.
Well, that's wonderful. And tell me a little bit about how do you feel the energy is and the mentality for these athletes nowadays with the prospect of the GymACT teams that are popping up. Every year we're adding teams, right? We started the organization with 5 teams just 3 years ago, and then we went to 7 and 9, and now we have 11 teams, and with prospects of more joining our organization. Is that something that plays a part on how you talk to your athletes and what they are saying amongst themselves about the opportunities? Now they have more options of places to go to school. They don't have to focus entirely on that one place or nothing. What is that like from your perspective out there in the trenches?
I think it's great because we now have, let's think before, when you would have, you obviously only your top elite kid in your program is really looking at going somewhere, and the others are feeling disappointed if they're not getting that spot like them. And with that, the rise in this, it's the availability and the options is so much better, and there's so many more places. It's, we talk with our guys about these teams constantly because, it also opens up without limiting the school they have to go to. So a kid might be looking to go to school somewhere that wasn't going to have a college gymnastics team, but now they can be doing gymnastics in that area and still be to the college they wanted to go to. So I'm all for it. I think it's great. I'm glad to be a part of helping judge it. So.
Awesome. Well, we are thrilled and honored to have you as a human being, as a coach, as a judge, and propelling the sport forward with to have such a large group of boys in your team. That's commendable. Congratulations to you and to your coaching staff and to everyone there at the gym and the families, because it's an incredible village. It's an amazing culture and community to be part of. And the fact that you've been successful with the numbers, that speaks volumes of how hard you've worked, because this is a tough business we're in. And, especially this last year with so many uncertainties in our ability to bring the groups together or not, or having to train outside. Give me a quick glimpse, because I know that these guys are still warming up, and we still have the juniors to go on parallel bar. So give me a glimpse of some of the things that you had to go through this last year just to keep your doors open. And what was that like? And what were some of those things that you were able to overcome?
I think we shut down in the middle of March completely, until June 1st. We had nothing going on in the building whatsoever. And that's really tough. It's speaking from having to pay rent and revenue coming in the building, and the athletes not having anywhere to train. So we did what everybody else did and kind of figured out the Zoom, and it was all brand new to us. Not like we ever did anything like that before. So we did what we could with Zoom. I had some coaches that really stepped up with that and took part in teaching the Zooms. Then we slowly kind of introduced team back in June into our program, and then some rec. And then, of course, when the spike hit back up again in November, then the same thing happened again. We had to close down recreational gymnastics, and we had to make sure that we were doing small groups. And I know every area is a little different. Ours is pretty, has some strong restrictions. So we did our best to follow those and still try to get the kids in. Luckily, we were able to spread them out throughout the day. We had, kids coming in all day long because they wouldn't be at school and that kind of thing. So it helped. And the side of running the business is a whole nother part of it. I mean, that's a whole conversation in itself, the fact that, having all of the government assistance that helped out for businesses like ours. So, it has been a learning curve, that's for sure. I don't think any of us saw it coming. That's for certain.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm congratulations on, enduring. And that's really what it takes. It's that sense of you fight for the things you believe in and you do your best. And I work at a couple of gyms, in fact, here in our area in Santa Cruz, California, and also in Monterey. And just when you think you got things under control, it feels like someone was just swiping that rug right from underneath you again with a new set of rules and guidelines that you had to adhere to, or just, we get here in California, a lot of our programs a lot of the gyms are getting put into a category of businesses that are different from the way that we run our spaces, right? Gymnastics, so you have a lot of room in the gym, you have a lot of space for the kids to roam, that keeps the social distance, in different from, say, a smaller weightlifting gym when everyone is in the same room that's a 20 by 20 and all the machines are 5 feet, less than 3 feet apart from one another, and you're right there breathing and sweating next to someone. But yet we were all categorized as gyms, right? And that kind of thing made it difficult for us here. In fact, to this day, certain counties still have gym closures. So you're saying that your gym was closed from March through June or July, and yeah, how hard that was. But we've had gyms that have been closed for months, right? And then people have to make those decisions of, how do I keep the business going? How do I keep afloat? How do I, keep these athletes training? And then, and that's the thing, right? The community has come together so amazingly with supporting one another, with gyms that are able to stay open just across the county line, would open the doors to the teams to come and train. And there is this amazing camaraderie, this amazing collaboration that happens amongst the gymnastics facilities, just to help one another, because we all know how hard it is. And when we all succeed, then each individual business does better, right? If you live in an area where the gymnastics is successful and popular, you want to maintain that. And it's been so hard to maintain that, the public image of the sport in an era where there is so much stigma from so many things that have been happening in the sport of gymnastics. And then comes this thing where, like, oh, you're a gym, you can't be open, or it's a classroom with a bunch of kids, it's a petri dish of and it's not exactly like that. Treat each gym with the respect and attention that they deserve, and you'll see that these gyms can stay open. And I think,
hey, Breeze, I want to interject for one quick second. I have one final junior competitor, and then we are ready to roll on parallel bars.
Let's move forward with the present, shall we? And moving forward, here we are. This is competitive gymnastics, GymACT Live, NIU versus Georgia United. And you just heard the voice of David Pomerantz in Atlanta, Georgia. And he is one of the founders of the Georgia United team right there, and one of the coaches as well. And we saw just a little bit earlier, Tyler Green made his appearance, kind of squeaking by there, but he's one of the judges. Tyler is one of the head coaches for the Georgia United team. He's also the Gymnastics Judging Association president, if I got that right, in Georgia. So he knows his stuff, and he is judging all of the other rotations for the juniors. Here with us, of course, we have Mike Cook, Nat Hammond, and Paul Evat, our esteemed judges. Thank you guys for being here. Nathan Suji, I don't like to say my former athlete. He was a former athlete at my gym where I was lucky enough to coach him for so many years. Not always a pleasant experience for both of us, but we made it through, and he still keeps coming back, which speaks volumes of his determination.
All right.
And headedness.
And Breeze, just a heads up for you. Adam Hutchinson is ready for parallel bars.
Let's make this happen. Judges, all right, with all of that talking, I hope you are ready to go. I got a thumbs up coming over here. Let's spotlight the Georgia United. David Hutchinson, as you heard from David Pomerantz, is ready to go. Let's go ahead and salute and get this party started. Parallel bars.
Here we go. My favorite event.
Yeah.
Nice control.
Yeah, talking about the required skills on parallel bars, we have an underbar swing that was required. He fulfilled that with the kip. Above the bars requirement, he just fulfilled that with his handstand press. There's a backup prize.
I can never do a straddle cut. Those are scary.
That's another required skill in the upper arm position when your arms are in pain. And then a dismount, of course.
Boom.
A front layout with a full. Well done. Beautiful job by David. Excuse me. Adam
Nice,
Hutchinson.
clean, simple routine.
And beautiful routine, well executed. Yeah, he was definitely capitalizing on those. None of those were incredibly difficult skills, but he performed them beautifully, nice and clean with control, holding the positions long enough. As you well know, if you don't hold it long enough, you lose points. Small pause there for Nathan to recognize that I'm making fun of him, of course.
No, I noticed that. Yeah, front upright swing handstands. You got to hold those.
You got to hold those handstands. Get credit for it. Well done.
Not just hit the handstand and show control. You have to hold it.
And moving right along here for the Georgia United guys, the judges are ready to go. They're squeaking by pretty quick. Nat, I lost your video, but here you are. Ready to go? All right, let's go. So this is Jamin Rasmussen from Georgia United.
Excellent job, Reese.
All right, thank you. I've been practicing on the side here.
Yeah, see, he held that handstand.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Ooh, nice peach element.
Peach to L, an underbar swing, fulfilling that requirement.
Got to control that handstand. Looks like he's got it.
Getting ready for a nice dismount and a stuck landing.
With the stuck landing.
Jamin Rasmussen. And of course, that is a stuck landing dismount, but he won't be getting the bonus points because it wasn't of high enough value for the skill. So the difficulty needs to be higher if he wants to get the bonus for sticking to dismount. So once again, it has to be a C or higher value. Layout with a half. Can you guess what it is? I'm gonna let that float over the heads of anyone who's still watching this. And we got half a century of people watching.
Perfect.
So if you know what that layout half was worth, type it into the chat here on the YouTubes. So we're going to deal with a little bit of logistics here real quick. And David or Ethan, if you guys can back up your camera a little bit more, because it looks like the mats are just a little bit, there's not enough mat shown. So go backwards a little bit, and maybe you can tip it down a little too. Yeah, there you go. That might do the job. We just don't want to tip it too far down because we don't want to lose their feet on a handstands. So Ethan, if you just stay alert there for a moment, the very first handstand the guy does, if you see his feet go off the frame, then tip it up a little bit so that we can see the body positions, and then make sure that we see the landing at the dismount as well. Thanks for all the helpers making this thing work. This virtual gymnastics thing is tricky, but we're making it happen. Here we are from Atlanta, Georgia, NIU. We have Bo Buckner ready to go. Judges are ready. Take it away.
Mounting on the end of the bars. Nice.
There you go. The moist swing to upper
Good
arm.
fight. Good fight. Parallel bar.
Oh, almost brought it back in the middle. It's hard to see from this angle, but he definitely was a little too far off to the side. So David, not David, excuse me. His name is Bo. Fortunately, a fall there. He has 30 seconds to remount the apparatus, and he did that much quicker than that, so he's good to go.
Yeah, I was going to say parallel bars is one of my favorite events just because you have to be so precise, especially when doing the pirouetting skills. Just being a little bit off, it's kind of like pommel horse. You're a little bit off, you're not going to come down between the bars. And it's just that precision that's such a challenge.
Yeah, and so many of these skills, you're changing direction and you're rotating your body on different axes. And from this angle, it's hard to see, but definitely a little bit off. And, you just keep going. If you have that energy going in that direction, you just keep flowing through.
Yep. But it creates for some great saves when you see people kind of going off to one side because you can reach back and you can grab the other bar and you can try to pull yourself back. So there's definitely some interesting times as well.
Yeah, yeah. And also some spectacular crashes. So P-bar is one of those.
P-bar
is one of those events that P-bars and pommel horse to me are the most fun crashes to watch because, yeah, sure. I mean, you kind of hurt yourself. Typically, nothing too dramatic, but but it's so fun to watch. The more power you put into a skill, the further you fall away from where you were expecting to be, and it's always a surprise too. You find yourself flat on your back, looking up, going, "What just happened?"
Boom.
Yeah.
All right, looks like he's ready.
Yeah, I think so too. So let's go ahead and release the video. Follow big.
You can already see this athlete has attention to detail, the way he's holding his fingers together. Just that's another way of showing the judges that you pay attention to detail.
So here we go with Mr. Kruin Uch from Georgia United. Take it away. We were talking about Tyler just a minute ago, and Tyler was judging the juniors earlier on parallel bars, but now he's just sitting and watching, enjoying the show, checking on his phone. I see him looking at his phone. He's checking the scores, I'm sure, keeping track of these guys, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Got a nice clean routine so far.
Yes,
He pays very good attention to his lines. Lots of control.
The strategic black pants and socks on the black background.
Ooh, almost.
It was a close one. Need a little more heel drive on that dismount to get that long body of his around for the full. But he was on his feet. Definitely. It's a hard
It
dismount.
might have been the video glitch for a second, but on my end, it looked like he stuck it and then ran backwards.
That's what it was. He just ran. He wanted to see his teammates as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Now we got those blind landings again. The front full, blind landing, anything going forwards. It's much more challenging to stick.
All right, we are moving right along, Speedy Gonzalez style. And up next from, we're actually going to switch off to NIU now because we already had that for our guys from Georgia United.
Perfect.
Place the spotlight. The judges are giving me their thumbs up. And we're ready to go. So from Northern Illinois, Mr. Joe Bajak. Again, the technique that I follow from my Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. A circle on a parallel bars. Ladies and gentlemen, that is so cool.
I have not seen that since 6 months ago.
I haven't seen that since I wrapped my rib on one of those bars. That was awesome. Well done, Joe.
I love the originality.
With the circle originality. I like it. I like it tremendously. Now, that is absolutely one of those skills, of course, that gets transferred from one event to another. It is allowed. It is a skill, and it's so hard to do, and it's so frightening. Oh, my gosh, you're nearly 6 feet high in the air, and those bars are that skinny, and you miss that hand, and it's as bad as you think it is. The rib cage to the edge of the bar is absolutely not something you want to do. And I guarantee you, I want to talk to Joe about that later and find out from him how many times he's actually missed his hand on that thing, because I know it's
absolutely. I want to see flares next time we see him.
Right? Flare to planche. Flare to planche is the challenge. Josh, take it away, man. You got to get these guys. Flare to planche. If I see that, next time I see that, I will automatically give him the ROV award before the meet even ends.
Yeah, let's hope they don't get rid of that skill next year.
I hope not. You know what? Just leave it in there anyway. Leave it in there anyway.
Yeah. That's what one of my old teammates did on high bar. He did a really cool kip care circly thing, and it was phenomenal. It was a crowd pleaser. Everybody loved it.
Very cool. All right, moving right along. Chugging here with Mr. Marty Friends from NIU on parallel bars. Let's go, Marty. Getting through that front enterprise requirement on the routine right away.
Ooh, nice pop on that Moita support.
Nice and high.
Catching both bars behind the back where you can't see where your hands are going. It's very challenging.
You know, I want to see a flip out of that. Support. A little bit of struggle there getting his hand back on the bar, but he pulled it back together.
Nice press up.
Yeah.
Potentially getting ready for a dismount.
There it is. Leo with a half.
Ooh, almost.
And a simple step at the end, but he did a good job. Good routine. Stayed on the bars the whole time. And that's the name of the game, right? We talk about staying on the equipment is the first thing, right? I mean, you want to fight for everything. You don't want to let it go. And it could be that it might be mathematically beneficial for you to jump down and start over halfway through your routine. but no one wants that. You want to see the guy fight for the skills. You want to fight him from the start to finish, because you know the next guy up is seeing this fight. He's seeing this tenacity, and he's going to follow suit on that energy. And it's going to be amazing, because I you know, not only do I enjoy seeing someone work hard for the gymnastics and fight for every skill, but I'm always excited to see what's going to happen next. We have up next here, we have Cole Schreiber, and you know Cole is going to be pumped up because Marty just put it all out in the line.
Yeah, when your teammates put it all out there, you're ready to give it more. Like, it's not that you weren't giving it your all before. It's just when your team starts fighting and everybody starts fighting, you just get elevated to another level of play.
That's when you find more than you realize you had.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of team competition. That's why it's so great that GymACT is bringing more and more teams, more and more gymnastics at the collegiate level around the country.
Thank you for the plug. Appreciate that. And it is true. Judges, look like you're still working on it, or Nat froze his image again, but we're just going to move along with or without him. So up next on parallel bars from NIU, Mr. Cole Schreiber.
Here we go. Ooh, nice speed on that peach. Nice little pop up to the L. Lock arms on the press, definitely a requirement. Ooh, Stutz to handstand. It's a nice C value skill. Ooh, almost stuck that front full.
That was a very good routine there for Mr. Cole Schreiber from NIU. That was,
I believe that was the first support C that we've seen.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. And we saw a couple of,
because we've seen the Moy, but
yeah, no, that was the first actual swinging skill in support. You know, one of the element groups, of course, is the support position, and anything that you do with both hands on the bar and your shoulders basically above your hands is one of those support skills that you're required to do. And from the swinging perspective, that was the first one that was a C value skill. So
he fought for that handstand, that's for sure.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was not letting that go. And it looks like this is going to be a pretty quick judging turnaround time on this one. I'm getting a couple of nods and smiles. Okay, so here, let's move on to the next athlete from NIU.
Is my video showing up now?
Micah Puckett. And not your video's working. Oh, now you went away.
I closed the window and opened a new one.
Making sure his grip is perfect, feels just the way he wants it. Nice power on that swing handstand.
Yeah.
Beautiful Moy to support. Well, nice and floaty.
Peach support. Now you see that Micah is using an arm sleeve, which is allowed for the college athletes to wear in the FIG quota points. That is actually not. Oh, it's fortunate. Took
so close
forward, puts his hands down. Yeah. So, anyways, just to finish it up, the sleeves are not allowed in international competitions. The sleeves cannot be longer than I think it's like a third of your arm, or there's something like that on the rules. But for college athletes, we are allowing those sometimes for safety, sometimes because it's you know, he's pampering an injury and trying to get back on his arms, and that worked out well.
I'd also like to shout him out. I think that was the first double flip dismount we've seen off parallel bars.
That's true. That's true. A double back is a C skill. So had he stuck that landing, he would have gotten the green flag for a stick bonus. But you know, at the end of a long routine, we keep talking about this, right? It's a double back on parallel bars and a double back dismount are two completely different skills. By the time you get to that 10th skill in your routine, your arms are shot and you're just holding on for dear life and praying for whatever gods you believe in, and just swinging like a madman.
Do the judges?
You're up in that handstand, going, please God.
All right.
Do the judges need a video sent to him? I know he went off screen on that double back.
Let's see what they feel, how they feel about that. It's just a fall.
Okay,
that's right. So yeah, you don't get to add the steps to the fall. The fall is the most that he's going to lose for that, and as long as he fell down on it, then that's what it is. So no video playback necessary. Of course, that's one of the things that we are doing with the virtual competitions is if necessary, if something goes glitchy or miss a skill because of the camera failure, we have backup plans in place for that. So without needing to go to that, Mr. Zach Cipra, I believe he's the team captain. And Zach on parallel bars, take it away.
Excited to see what we have here. Nice stable handstands, always nice to see.
There's that
Ooh, saves that pirouette. It was a little close for a second.
Good extended lines on his handstands, showing off the long hold to make sure that we all see that he held it long enough. Beautiful, long,
nice locked arms on his
legs.
peach.
Clean gymnastics.
Thinking about what's next.
Pulling the double back.
Ooh.
Nicely done, Zach. Well done indeed. A beautiful routine by Mr. Zach Cipra from NIU. Zach is
first successful double salto landed on your feet off parallel bars.
Yeah, there you go. 2 flips off the P bars to the feet. That's what it takes.
2 flips, 2 feet, no hands. That's the way.
That's it. Yep. Speaking of flipping, turns out over here, looking at the stats that I have for Zach, he can do 15 backflips in 30 seconds on the floor exercise. That is one of the stats, one of the challenges that we did for GymACT this last year. Once again, talking about bringing these guys together as often as we can, however we can. So we came up with these challenges that they can do anywhere in the world. They don't have to be in the gym. They can be in the backyard. They can be in a park. They can be at the beach. And we got these skills that we challenged them with, and we did a competition for the backflip. We had 9 teams from across the country represented for that one event via Zoom, and it was a fantastic affair. I believe that the team from ASU was the one that won that particular challenge, sneaking with 2 guys on by the second round. They had a total of 47 flips. So that's
wow.
You know, that's a lot of flips. If you ever try to do a backflip, I challenge you, try how many backflips can you do in 30 seconds, because that's the stat we're keeping track of for these guys. All right, going to the last guy from NIU on parallel bars, we have Mr. David Dormand.
Ooh, nice pirouette. Nice little hop on that peach.
Right? When you see that floating going on and you know that it's
always what you like to
look
see.
easy and making it look elegant. I like that. Oh, that's the way to do a front prize. And oh, so close. Man, that was close.
Oh man, I felt yeah, it happens.
Routine. Man, David Dormand, that was just elegant. He showed off the simple skills that he did. He did elegantly with the word I'm looking for. Help me out here. Confidence, grace, and confidence.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. You know, just everything as well as it can be performed. I saw very little, if any, deductions on any of those skills. That's awesome. Well done. So let's go ahead actually, and since I'm talking about deductions, let's look at some of these routines. Since we just finished one of the events, this is round 5 in the bag. Let's go ahead and replace the spotlight over here to the scoreboard. Trustee Robert Davis from Virtual Stars Gymnastics working diligently in the background, making sure the judges are entering the scores and that the team scores. We'll come back to the team scores once the last score is actually entered. We are on our 5th rotation that just finished. Scrolling down the page here, down to parallel bars, and you see the Georgia United team back-to-back. Each one of these guys went through. Well done with some low deductions going on here. I like that. And you see again here the 4.0 adjustment for Bo Buckner, most likely because he was missing a skill. I'm actually going to bring one of the judges here in a second to talk about that. So whoever the D judge was for those routines, anyone can come back over here and give us a couple of rundown so we can help these athletes, educate the athletes, educate the public on how to improve so that they can show the best routines possible down the season at nationals, kicking butt like they're supposed to. All right, and we got some, again, some low execution values going on here, which means that these guys had very little deduction. Look at that. David was 1.2. Nat mentioned earlier, if you're getting less than 2 points on the deductions, you're doing a doggone good routine. I'm not sure if that's the word he used. I was going to say something different, but it was really good. So congratulations to all the guys on parallel bars. And now going back to the team scores with 199.9. Currently in second place, Georgia United Gymnastics, and with 284 going into their last event already with a qualifying score to take them to national championships qualification. Congratulations is Northern Illinois United. Fantastic job. All right, going back to the gallery. I am impressed. There's been some amazing gymnastics being performed here today. All of these guys are working hard and doing an amazing job. So back over here, let's see. Who did I have in my list of judges for parallel bars? And for the D judge, Mike or Nat. So if one of you guys want to come by over here and give me a quick rundown as to what are some of the things that we're looking for in the parallel bar routines that might be useful information to these athletes. And of course, I'm not sure if they can hear me, so I'm just going to call the judges in the judges channel here. So either Mike or Nat, you want to give me a quick rundown of parallel bars and what are some of the things that we may have missed or that we're looking forward to improving on these guys' routines? That'll be useful information to them in the long run in the season.
This is Mike. So one of the things we're looking for is when you swing up to handstand, you have to hold it. So if you swing up to handstand and then swing back down without holding, that's going to be a 3/10 deduction for that. Also looking to make sure you get your support position. So like the peach basket to support or the moi to support, you really need to be catching those fully in support and not with bending the arms. And then those dismounts where we'd like to see the stuck dismounts, and we didn't see too many of that today on parallel bars. Maybe the next meet they'll have more luck with that.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, of course, you're going for the stick landing, and it looked like some of those guys were short or overshooting the dismount. So a little bit of lack of control at the end of those routines. And, you know, this is the 5th event. And again, the dismounts are a whole new beast when you're at the end of the routine and fatigued and tired at the end of the day. And, you know, with one event to go. But this is what it's like, right? These guys are working not only on their gymnastics, but they're also learning how to compete, right? You got to learn how to pace yourself. You got to learn how to stretch out that stamina throughout all 6 events, right? You can do one routine one day, but if you put 3-4 events back to back, then it's a whole new thing. It's not just one dismount that you got to do now. You got 5 of them to work on, 6 in gymnastics, of course. So yeah, so thank you for your input there, Mike, on those parallel bars issues. And going into high bar, let's see, you know, let's take a look at Nat, because you are going to be the e-judge excuse me, Paul, you're going to be the e-judge for high bar. Can I bring you on just for a second? I was going to ask you just a couple of questions. Yeah. What do you look for as an execution judge, right? Someone whose job is to basically take points away if something is less than perfect. So that's practically the definition. So what are you looking for, and what are some of the things that you think are important for these guys to avoid, and some of the things that they can do to improve already before they even go?
Well, I think, you know, one of the obvious ones that people see is the form. You know, they notice that the knees are bent when they shouldn't be, and that kind of thing, and the arms bending. But on high bar, one of the big one of the big deductions is angle deductions. So when they're making any kind of a turn, you know, you got to end essentially in a handstand. And so those deductions add up real fast when their turns are happening, not in a handstand. And that's going to be one of the ones that separates the kids, that if they're doing a lot of turns in their routines, that they need to be done to a handstand.
So anytime that there's a turning skill, the handstand would be considered for its purposes the perfect position, and deviations from that. So turning and
you only allow a little bit of error. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So that is definitely one of those things where when you're learning the skills, a lot of times you're overshooting the skill to make sure that you get it right. And then early in the season, I got to say, it's more often than not you will see that most of the skills are going to be overshooting those handstand positions, just because you don't want to take that risk of missing the skill, and then now you have a fall in your routine in your hands, and then that's obviously not a good idea. So thanks for that input there. That's cool. And you know, I haven't actually talked to Mike yet. Mike, let's take a minute since these guys are still warming up, and ask you how life is going on your neck of the woods. And you are in Oregon. Where are you from? Oregon. I'm not sure if you're there now. So that's the first question. Where are you right now?
Yes, and yes, I am from Oregon, and I am here in my home right now, judging from home.
Nice, nice. Home office.
Yep.
And tell me a little bit about your involvement with gymnastics. Were you a competitor? Were you a coach? Are you
Yeah,
how long
so
are you judging?
Like most kids, I started gymnastics when I was young, did lots of other sports too, soccer, wrestling, swimming, basketball, all kinds of other sports, track and field, but gymnastics was the one that I loved the most, and I stuck with it. Did it all through high school, did it at the University of California, Berkeley. Was fortunate enough to compete there. The great and memorable Hal Fry was one of the coaches there. He was such a character, and I'm so glad that he was part of my gymnastics life, that I got to meet him. And he
ripples that man created in the sport
Yeah.
of gymnastics continue to affect so many lives. I live in the Bay Area these days, and it's amazing what legacy he's left behind.
Yeah.
With the athletes, with the coaches, with the judges, everyone whose life he's touched. What an amazing man! I'm so thrilled you got to work with them and be coaching
Yeah.
them.
And so after college, then I started judging, and I've been judging ever since, and enjoying it. It's taken me around the world. Last year, I got to judge the World University Games in Italy, and that was a really awesome experience. And it's just, you know, with COVID hitting this year, it makes me even more fortunate and memorable experience that I got to experience that before the world changed for good.
Yeah. You got to cash in that chip before it happened, right?
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I actually, as I was saying earlier about.
All right, hey Breeze, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was
thank
a
you.
little bit back on this one. We are ready for high bar.
Well, let's go do that then. So coming on to the sixth and final event of this competition, Georgia United versus Northern Illinois and IU. We have the judges, Paul, Evat, Nat Hammond, and Mike Cook on the high bar. And we're going to go over to the Spotlight for Everyone, to the Atlanta Convention with the first athlete from Georgia United on high bar, Mr. Bo Buckner. Take it away, Bo.
And high bar is one of those events where it's just super exciting from start to end. There's so much movement. It's so dynamic. You never know what you're going to get out of a high bar routine.
Oh, it's my favorite by far. I always loved it, and I still do to this day, no matter how much it hurts to swing these days with my old grips.
Got his release out of the way. And I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Yeah, just didn't feel comfortable enough to keep going with his routine. It's one of those times where you make a decision. It's like, is it better for me to keep going, or do I stop, regroup, and then go strong from there?
Absolutely. And it seems he made his decision, and maybe out of that release, I think he was hoping to cast over the bar, get into his front giants, and just made the decision to hop off and reset.
Yeah, there's, you're facing the wrong way, and you're not used to that, and your routine just goes haywire after that. So it looks like Bo is having a little bit of struggle here, but he's swinging well. I mean, he's got good form. He's got good basics. He's putting together a routine.
Winding up for his dismount.
Yeah.
Ooh, just a little too much power.
Yeah, it was a great dismount. Just looked like he was a little bit over reaching on that for the landing, and pulled his knees a little too hard, too long. So not quite a preparation for landing as we would like to see on a dismount. So unfortunately, and because it is part of the rules, is that the preparation for landing is on a deduction on top of the fall. So, it's a double whammy. So like I said, you know, Bo putting together a series of skills that he's able to do safely, making sure that he stays healthy there on the high bar. It's early in the season. Get those routines through, get the experience, run through all 6 events in one day in front of an audience, in front of the judges. And that's what it's all about. You got to start somewhere. And it looks like this is the good place for him to be. And we're going to remain here on high bar now. I think that the judges are ready to go. So as soon as Jamin Rasmussen is ready, the green light is on, sir.
And you pronounced that name correctly. I'm so proud.
You know, that possibly, you know, according to David, that I'm going to have to talk to him afterwards. In fact, I'm going to have to talk to him and to Kruin later, find out how do you actually say his last name. Because I don't trust David.
No, I can confirm. You did pronounce the name correctly. Nice job.
Yes. I love it when tall guys just hop up to the high bar without the assistance of a coach. I don't know why. I just like it.
As a coach,
nice,
I can tell
clean
you the
release
day
move.
one of your juniors finally jumps up to the high bar by himself, it's both sweet and sour. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't have to work anymore. But then it's like, oh, he doesn't need me. What's up?
We still need you to slide the mat.
Yeah, it's true. Thanks a lot. Half in, half out.
Full twisting double. Oh,
unfortunate. Pulls its knees too far. Got lost. And here's the thing. These guys are competing at a convention center. And I can speak from experience. And I'm willing to bet a little bit of money that it is disorienting. For, you know, you're used to seeing the blue mats in your gym, the color of your pit, the color of your roof, probably 20 feet lower than this one is. So when you're doing the swings in high bar and doing those giants, and your brain is capturing this imagery so quickly around and around, and you see that the ceiling is so much further than what you were expecting it to be in the middle of the dismount, flipping and twisting, very disorienting.
Not to mention those incredibly bright lights that are sitting up on the ceiling, blowing out our cameras.
Yeah. I love it when the lights are right in your face when you're about to grab the bar and you can't find it.
It's the best.
Judges, I didn't get a verbal. Yes, thank you. There we are. We're ready to go. Adam Hutchinson from Georgia United, ready to go. Take it away. Moving right
Looks like he'll have no problem jumping up the high bar on his own.
All right. In fact, they might have separated those two 4-inch mats right there, the 4-inchers, just enough for him to squeeze in underneath it without smacking his toes on the mat. Vault catch,
nice
B level
release,
skill.
really smooth.
Nice.
And you can see the angles here when he's spinning, trying to finish right in that handstand as close as he can. See if he can land this dismount.
That's preparation for landing. There it is.
There it is.
So
that's what we want to see.
Do not see a green flag. Well, first, there wouldn't be a green flag because a double is only a B. So unfortunate. But he did definitely, you saw how high he went, how tuck he was, and then he opened out with plenty of time, kicking out at 9 o'clock, as we say, to get his feet back down on the ground. That is preparation for landing. So no deduction from that portion of it. Yes.
Can you mute yourself in Discord where you're taking over the judges table?
Well. Sorry.
What, they don't want to hear our comments about, you know, he's finishing close to handstand and he definitely stuck that?
Yeah, he definitely
not when they're doing math.
like we say to our athletes, you got to stay focused, man. Just stay focused. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, man, just stay focused. We're helping out the athletes here, distracting you, making sure you don't take all these deductions that you're seeing.
I'm not going to name any names, but I had a coach once tell me that he should be able to put a firecracker between my toes in the middle of the routine and I shouldn't notice it. I'm not going to tell you who that guy was. And it wasn't toes that he said either. It was armpits.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. It was definitely the armpits. Who's next?
Moving on, before I get myself or anyone else in trouble, it is Mr. Kruin Unch from Georgia United. Take it away, Kruin.
Getting his grip all secure, bouncing up and down on the bar, getting the feel for it. Every bar has a slightly different timing depending on how much the cables are tensioned, how it's locked into the ground. So it's always good to do those first couple bounces to get a feel for the equipment. Ooh, nice. Are we going to see a front? Nope. I thought maybe we'd see a front dismount.
I thought so too. He was cranking that front gen.
Ooh!
There it is.
We're muted on the judges channel, but I'm still going to say that should be a green flag because that was a stuck.
Should be a green flag. Say it loud enough and the echo would come in.
Yeah, right. I'll just start screaming, stuck landing, stuck landing.
You know, it's all fun and games to scream at the judges, but of course, being in a hot seat, they have to determine what was that body position. So you just watched that dismount, you just saw it happening that quickly. What do you give it? Is it a layout? Is it a pike? Is it undetermined position? Right? Because you want to make sure that
his toes pointed.
You got to give it something. You can't say I don't know. So at that point, the judge is going to have to make a determination and stick to the guns and, you know, face the wrath of the coaches if he gives the value that the coaches were not expecting. But, you know, you judge what you see. So what did you see out there at home today? And from that angle, the angle that you're looking at is the same exact angle the judges are seeing. That's one of the things about virtual meets is that, you know, the camera is the judge's seat and we all have the same one. Did it glitch? Did it not glitch? What did you see?
What I saw was he let go of the bar. He did 2 flips and he didn't land when he hit the ground. So I am happy.
And he stuck it.
He stuck the landing. The judges can deal with the rest, whether or not his toes were pointed, his knees were bent, if he was piked, preparation for landing. It's our job to get excited. So that's the fun part.
That's right. And you know what? And it was, whatever he did, it was beautiful. It was super high.
It was.
I found the landing. He landed, you know, and it's that joy, that thrill of ending the routine with that nice exclamation point.
Absolutely.
All right, so,
and he stuck it on the 8-incher.
That's right. All right, so now that we've had the 4 athletes from Georgia United just completed their routines. Yes, we are moving on to, and I need to change my view. Excuse me for one moment. Going into replay spotlight. Here we go. We're at NIU now with Joe Bajek. Leave it at that before I say it wrong again, even worse than I just said it. Got the Eastern European names I'm never sure how to say. Here we go.
Ooh, barely got his left hand on the bar there, but fighting through, always good to fight through. Come on.
There he goes, keeping it together, pulls it up, gets the rhythm going.
Stay on the bar. Winds up for the dismount. Ooh, almost.
The in-bar skill. That is one of the requirements that you have to do. So on high bar, we have these requirements just as in other events.
Do we get credit there?
He's asking for the credit or not. I'm going to check in with the judges. Judges credit or not for the free hip.
Okay.
No credit for the free hip. So that is, you just experienced right there, the communication between the coaches and the judges. That's the only time a coach is allowed to speak to the judge during the gymnastics competition, is to say yes or no, yes or no question. Did he get credit or not for that last skill? And the judges, of course, have to determine on the spot whether they did or not.
Come on.
And it is a
there he goes.
High bar. So going for it again was the right choice. Gets it done with a dismount.
Oh, almost stuck.
So going back to finish the routine strong is what it takes, right? You get back up, you get your 30 seconds, you got your answer from the judges, you didn't get credit. Do you do it again? Take the risk of maybe missing it for a second time? Or do you go hard and you go for the skill and you make it? And a great choice there by Joe, and completed the routine, probably all the skills that he intended to do. So congratulations, that's awesome. First meet.
Like we saw with that extra deduction earlier with when you didn't have enough skills. You have to also look at how many skills you had in your routine. If you have enough skills without this one and you fill your element groups, you might not need to repeat it. But if this is the only skill in that element group and you need that skill to count, you got to get up till you make it.
And those decisions are made right there in the heat of the moment, in a split second, because you're doing the math in your head. You're checking in with your own body and emotions. Can you do it? Can you not do it? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? And that's the beauty of live competition. You don't get that in workout. You don't get that in submissions. You don't get that in evaluations. You only get that in competition. And here we are.
Absolutely.
All right. Going on, Mr. Cole Schreiber on high bar from Northern Illinois United. Take it away, Cole.
Release out of the way. Ooh, nice flying giant.
Yeah. Every single person going, we like that.
Everyone loves seeing a flying giant. Nice B value skill.
Weiler
Just
kip.
the Weiler kip, man.
Tricky.
I competed with Weiler kips for a very long time. They're a very finicky skill. As you drop in, if you drop in just a few degrees off, that skill will kick you out the back door and just send you off the bar like nobody's business. And there's nothing you can do about it.
If you're lucky, let alone the bruises on your thighs you're going to get if you go a little too far.
Yeah, it's an interesting skill, but when it's done well, it's a very beautiful skill, very dynamic.
So you saw Coach Jared right there, Trent Jared, just counting on his fingers, like how many skills did he do? What's he got to do next? And he's got 30 seconds to make that decision and talk to the guy. and
it's like, oh God, figure it out.
Right? Does he need that skill to have more than 7 so he doesn't lose 4 points? Because if you do 7 skills in your routine, you start your execution score from a 10.0.
I think he's doing it again. Nope,
skills,
no, he's not. He did not need that skill.
He would have lost 4 points. So he's banking on having 7 skills at least. And a half and half out.
Full twisting double back.
Oh,
just not quite enough rotation.
So, put it all out in line. That's what it is, right? I mean, you're tired and falling off the high bar is one of those things that it's amazing that people are like, oh, but he got to rest. But I'm telling you, getting back on the high bar is some of the hardest things you will ever do. That takes so much more energy to finish that routine with a fall in the middle than it does to just keep going through the thing, which is why you see guys fighting to stay on the bar, because coming down and going back up again takes a lot of energy. It's the worst. It's the worst. So anyways, we are approaching the final stages of this competition here. That was Cole Schreiber. Next up on high bar is going to be Zach Cyper. It looks like the judges are finished entering their scores. So let's go right on along. Zach, take it away.
All right, here we go. He looks happy. I always like it when an athlete smiles as they salute, because they're going to enjoy that routine.
You got to love what you do. This sport is too hard not to.
Couldn't agree more.
We see
nice
some
and
nice,
controlled.
Long, clean routines from Zach earlier today, so I suspect this is going to continue as a trend.
Ooh, nice in-bar and a good endo. First endo we've seen all day.
Folks at home, check out those angles. Is he finishing those skills at the handstand when he's turning or in-barring? Right here, in-bar skill.
Ooh, endo and a stalder. Takes flexibility, strength, and timing.
Double back. Spassolini, a little too late. Oh, man.
Oh, that killed me. I thought he was going to have it.
I know, right?
I really wanted him to land that dismount.
We all did. Unfortunately for Zach, that is a fall on a dismount. Very close to getting all those skills in there without with the old hit on high bar is what we want. And a hit on high bar is a good thing. Means you're hitting the routine, not the bar. And unfortunately,
when you said I think we all did with regards to him wanting to land that dismount, I think that's another one of the special things about specifically men's gymnastics in particular. I've been in quite a few competitions, and I've never experienced a competition where you wanted somebody else to fall. The competitive teams, everyone's just rooting each other on. Everybody wants to do the best that they can do, and they want their competitors to hit the best routines they can.
Absolutely.
It's just magical.
Absolutely. It is incredible how these guys are brothers. They're fighting for the first place by doing their best, not at the expense of someone else's worst. That is never a pleasant experience. And we all know how hard we work, and we want to make sure that these guys are hitting their routines and that I'm hitting better than they are. And that's where it's at.
Exactly.
So looking for that, we move on to another couple of guys on the high bar from Northern Illinois United, Mr. Micah Puckett.
Nice dynamic start with a lot of power.
We're looking at a powerful young man on high bar. I was keeping an eye on him on the warm-ups a little earlier today.
Looks like we're going to have a Tkachev, and he catches it. There we go. First C-value release of the day.
Some standard requirements out of the way. Endo, right to handstand.
Love watching the coach trying to lean in the background to get him over the bar.
And it helps, man. It totally
Yep,
helps.
and he did it again.
There's Trent doing the dance, the coach's dance. 1, 2,
to his feet.
There it is.
That's the way. There we go.
He weeble wobbles, but does not fall. A green line, but you know, it's still only a B dismount, so not the bonus, unfortunately. But he stuck the dismount, and that was exciting because it was
still
a great
stuck
routine.
dismount. We'll take it.
He did a beautiful release at Tkachev. He had all the in-bar requirements. So the requirements on high bar are the release move. It is an in-bar, so you can do a kip or a free hip or the endo with the legs apart that you saw him doing. He can then do the circling skills, or basically the giant skills, where it's pirouetting and turning skills. And then you have, of course, the dismount. He's got all the requirements fulfilled, did it well, did it with power and confidence. That was a great routine. Well done.
Lovely.
Micah.
Super fun to watch. And if you've never watched a coach a kid at a competition, make sure you pay attention to the coach too, because they are doing the routine and they're just as invested as the athlete.
That's right. That's right. All right, moving on. We have from Northern Illinois United on high bar, Mr. Ethan Meister.
We have a fun fact about Ethan. It sounds like he graduated from Ohio State in December, but due to COVID, there's a petition that allows seniors to finish their season even if they've already graduated. So he joined the team 2 days ago. Oh,
yeah.
And we got a Winkler.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that was exciting.
And puts the feet down on a dismount like it
wonderful.
That was awesome. All right, a Winkler. It is a front flip in a laid out position with a full twist. That is a hard skill to perform. It is extremely it has to be extremely accurate. There is not a lot of leeway there. If you're slightly off, there is no coming back. A lot of skills, I think at Tkachev, you kind of have a little bit of, if you're not quite there, you just reach a little further. But on that skill, man, you got to be right on. And it's a pretty quick reach for the bar without seeing it for a long time. Again, on a Tkachev, you see the bar for a third of the skill. On a Ginger, you see it for 96% of the skill. On the Winkler, you see it for like that fast. And
pretty much,
the bar is on your face. The bar is on your face. He did a great job. That was an awesome routine. Landed on his feet, on his dismount, brought it all together at the end there. Well done, Ethan. And
I've actually seen him do a Winkler half to a Jaeger.
Oh, we may have
it's
to
incredible.
Find that video somewhere now. All right, so
I
here we
it
go.
I can send it to you later.
All right. So the last competitor for tonight's competition from Northern Illinois University, David Dermont. David, take it away.
All right, here we go.
Finishing our session of college gymnastics, GymACT Live, Georgia United versus Northern Illinois. Oh, nice. On it, right on the hands, tip of the fingers, with strong swing out of that. Veronin. Yes, Aquas.
Nice Rebalco.
Rebalco, excuse me. Aquas is a 1 full, and Rebalco is 1.5. These names all, again, names of
athletes. There's the
Quast.
Quast. Winding up for his dismount here. Ooh, full twisting double layout. D value.
Beautifully done.
Nicely
done indeed. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we finish this very first ever virtual GymACT dual meet hosted by Virtual Stars Gymnastics and GymACT.org. Thank you so much, Robert, for all your hard work. We made it happen, and it worked out really well. This was a tricky format to follow with the juniors meet as well. And folks, stay tuned, because we're going to make a few announcements here of the team winners, and we got some special awards to give out virtually, of course, to these athletes. So the coaches are going to finish out their the entries. We're going to make sure that the coaches don't have any inquiries about any questions on any of the start values that we might have had in the routine throughout the meet. There are a little bit of logistics to go through, but this is going to go flipping pretty quick here. And I am going to go to just the high bar scores and take a look at what's going on. And as soon as David is, as soon as the juniors are done, David is going to be
We are done.
announcing. Oh, then
We are done. We are ready.
I'm not going to show you guys anything then. We're just going to find out from David what the final results of this competition are based on what these guys did today. So first of all, congratulations to everybody, coaches and judges. Thank you so much for being here. Let's find out what the results are. And like I say, stay tuned for after the meet presentation with some more awards to and from the athletes.
All right. So I'm going to all right. We have our final team results from our Georgia United versus Northern Illinois University competition.
Hey, I'm going to stop you. David, I'm going to stop you, man. Hang on, because we need to see the guys. We need to see the guys.
You see the guys.
Yeah,
all right.
of course
Ethan,
we want
you
to
got
see
your
them.
camera on?
We want to see the reactions.
We want to see the reactions of these athletes, where they are, and see what's going on. Come on, that's why we're doing this. So, Josh, we needed a camera on you guys. What's going on over there? They're out dancing. What's happening?
Okay, well, we do have a little technical difficulty. The camera died.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, no.
So the Georgia United guys, you're not going to see live, though they are very excited to be here.
Okay.
I'll speak and vouch for them. They are very happy about this. So
It's going to be like radio. You're just going to have to describe what you see.
I will describe what I see. I'll do my best. All right. So our final results: second place, scoring 227.8, Georgia United, and the winner of today's head-to-head competition with a 336.3, Northern Illinois University.
There they are. There they are. NIU Huskies. Congratulations, boys.
All right, now, at the end of every GymACT competition, so junior gymnasts, I do need you guys also for a second. I need every gymnast that's in this building right now to find somewhere they can spread out on a mat, on a floor somewhere or something, because
Judges,
by
get ready for
tradition,
this. If you can hear
to
this.
end a GymACT competition, everybody here, I will count down, or I will count it 1, 2, 3. Everybody has to say the words, "Go GymACT," and do a standing back tuck. So everybody's involved. So ready, everybody spread out. Let's go. All junior guys, spread out. College guys, spread out.
Robert,
Let's go.
you take it? Robert's
really
go
quick,
for
we're
it.
doing it, and we're getting our award started.
All right, so all the
All
athletes.
right, you guys over on P-bars, let's go. GGA, come on. Spread out, join us. Let's go. Amplitude boys, come on. All right, so I will say 1, 2, 3. You say go GymACT.
On. Judges, let's add to that.
All right. And I got to hear it loud. I have to hear you say, go GymACT.
Footage of those guys. I want to see that.
I want these guys in Northern Illinois to hear it live, not over a microphone. All right, are we ready?
Switch over to Zoom, guys.
All right, come on, guys. It's a Saturday night. It ain't that late. Let's go. Are we ready? All right, 1, 2, 3.
Go.
Go GymACT.
All right, nice job, gentlemen. Congratulations, Georgia United, Northern Illinois.
Awesome. Just awesome. Well, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for everybody. Now we do have now David or Ethan, if you guys are still in the listening over there, let's figure out how we can get those guys back on camera, because we do have the individual awards to give out and some special awards to and from the athletes that we would love for us to see everybody there. So ladies and gentlemen, that officially concludes the competition and for the webcast. But now we're going to do the post-meet special. And what that's going to be is this. I'm going to have the judges talk amongst yourselves about the, oh, there we go. Maybe we can get another camera coming in, I hope. Maybe. So what we're going to do is this. First of all, Robert, would you like to do the honors of announcing the individual events scores, or do you want me to do it?
I have a total 4 count for everything.
Ooh. All right, so hold off on that for just a second.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to just give out the highest score on each of the events.
This is on my nerves right now.
So I'm going to mute him before he says something he was going to regret. So because we all have computer glitches and we know how that works. So on the floor exercise, and the athletes, if you're around, this would be a good time for you guys to recognize each other and what's going on. So Josh, you can tell your guys, and David, you can tell your guys on who's doing what on what event. But it looks to me like on floor exercise with a
That's also true.
14.2 start value and
All right,
only
I apologize, guys.
1.8
Can you guys hear me?
reductions. Yes, we can hear you, buddy. So on floor exercise with a total final score of 12.4,
Can you guys hear me?
Mr. Malcolm
Okay, I can't hear you guys at all.
So Malcolm Moore on floor exercise. David, we can hear you. Congratulations, Malcolm. Well done. I'm going to move on here until David figures out where his...
There we go. All right,
you guys, excellent. All right, so moving on to Pommel Horse. On Pommel Horse, the highest score today with a whopping 12.1 from NIU, Mr. David Dormont. Congratulations, David. Great score there.
Dortmund.
Dortmund.
Yeah, wait, do we want it on? I think we probably should have it on. Where is that?
So moving on to still rings.
No,
We are looking at the highest score with an 11.7 from NIU, Mr. Zach Cipra. Congratulations, Zach.
No, it's all the way up.
On vault.
Do we want to go on the other
highest
side of this?
score on vaulting table. Oh, these are tricky. These are a lot of same scores here. So let me move over. The first place on vault with a 13.4. I'll try to say it right this time. David Dortmund.
Wow, that's a big vault. 13.
Congratulations, David. Probably one of your guys, wasn't he, Paul? Yeah. All right. So on parallel bars, the highest score tonight was an 11.9 from Georgia United, Mr. Adam Hutchinson. First place on parallel bars. Well done. And on high bar with the highest score of the evening, it looks like we have a tie for first place. In first place with an 11.5 from Georgia United, Adam Hutchinson, and from Northern Illinois United, David Dortmund. A tie on high bar scores. Congratulations there. So that was awesome. Those are the individual recipients of the accolades, if you will, on each event. Now, a couple more things that we're going to do. Judges, are you guys ready for the ROV award? Am I springing that on you again? All right. So I'll describe really briefly what ROV means. ROV stands for risk, originality, and virtuosity. That is something that used to be a requirement on a code of points for gymnasts back when artistic gymnastics was artistic, and those things were valued as subjective judging aspects of the routines. And if a judge thought that something was super risky, they would get a point, a little bonus point. They thought it was original, like creating a new skill and getting your name on a code of points, then you get originality.
Right.
If you thought it was virtuous, done extra beautiful and fluid and elegant and ample, then you get virtuosity. So judges, I think I stalled it enough. This competition's winner of the ROV award, one athlete from either one of the two teams. Spokesperson, please take it away.
Okay, this is Mike. So we had two really good contenders for this award. One was Ethan, who did the Winkler on high bar. That's the front layout with a full twist. Really risky move, hard to do, really impressive. We really liked that skill. And the other guy was Joe, who did a circle on P bars, which is like way out of the blue. It's not a hard move, not a super hard move to do, but very original. And after a little bit of debate, we're going to go with Joe doing the circle on P bars for the originality points.
All right. Cannot argue with that. Congratulations, Joe. That was actually an awesome routine all throughout. Beautifully done. And the circle definitely is something that stands out in our minds. And that's what you want, right? You want to be remembered for something. And here the judges are giving you credit where credit is due, sir. Congratulations. Well done. All right. Thank you, judges. So now I'll take care of a simple and yet incredibly important logistical thing, is that coaches and judges need to verbally in this case accept and turn in the scores for the meet. So so I'll just ask the judges, to your knowledge, the scores that we have on the Virtual Stars website from top to bottom, you signed under as accurate and legal. I'll go with Mike Cook.
Yes, to the best of my knowledge, I think we did it all right.
Thank you. Paul Evat. I heard you on the Discord, but not on Zoom. If you don't mind coming on Zoom, please.
Everything appears to be accurate.
Thank you very much. Mr. Nat Hammond in Zoom. Thank you.
Yes, everything looks accurate.
Thank you very much. And then coaches, do you have any questions or concerns about the start values of your athletes?
Everything looks good on our end.
Lovely. And then from Georgia United, do we have a coaching representative, please?
We don't have any coaches near us right now.
They're probably all taking care of the awards.
Yeah.
Here's what we'll do. We'll consider this official and closed. And then when we get the word from either David or Nikita, we'll still be here for a few more minutes. So one of you guys.
Wait, Nikita's right here.
There you go.
How's it
Nikita,
going, gentlemen?
did you have it? First of all, nice to meet you and congratulations to your guys competing today. Awesome job. Thanks for everything. But did you have a chance to look at the scores on the scoreboard and verify that they are correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So that actually concludes officially this meet. Judges, that was fantastic. Thank you very much. We do have one or two more awards to give out from the athletes to themselves. So judges, thank you so much for everything that you do. I am in awe and admiration of everything, and for your gratitude and graciousness of being here, for your hard work and dedication for the sport. You guys are awesome. Couldn't do this without you, literally. Anyways, the last things that I have for you guys as far as awards is this. I am asking each of the team captains to step up to the plate and present from the team consensus what the most valuable teammate recipient, who the most valuable teammate recipient will be. Now, if your teammates decided that you, team captain, is the one receiving it, spoiler alert, bring your coach in there to present the award to you so that you're not saying to yourself, hey, I just won something. So,
if you'd like to accept it, MVP, Jamie.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna go first with the visiting team, so to speak. We have NIU. So Josh, you and your guys, is there anybody there that can step up? The captain? You're not quite. So if you're not ready for that, why don't you go ahead and tell the guys that what we're doing. We need the team to vote for the most valuable teammates. All right, so we're gonna go then with Georgia United. Looks like you guys are ready. First of all, what's your name, sir?
I'm Adam Hutchinson.
Hey, Adam, and you're the team captain, speaking for the guys?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, and congratulations on today's meet. The first meet ever for your team. That's awesome. And you as the team leader should be proud of yourself and proud of your teammates. So now, sir, who does your team feel should be the most valuable teammate of this meet?
We're giving that to Jamin.
All right, Jamin. Let's bring him on. Is he around? Let me see him. I want to meet him. I want to meet him in person, virtually, if that's okay. All right, Jamin, what's going on, man? Congratulations.
Thank you.
How you feeling?
I feel okay. I mean, I was put up to do all around today, so I think that I put together a decent meet considering that. Kind of a shame that the very last skill I ended up falling for the first and only time, but so early in the season, I was just happy to get most of the way through the meet without any major falls, and I consider it a successful outing for the first time as a member of Georgia United.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you and to your team. Indeed, a great performance all throughout. All around is a hard thing to do. 6 events in one day, and especially when you're, kind of sort of a last-minute decision. But obviously, you did it safely and you did it well. So congratulations to you, sir. Well done. Thank you. All right, so let's go back to my gallery view here. And now that I think I have a representative, there he is, Mr. Zach Cipra. How are you, Zach?
Yeah, thank you. I'm great. I'm super happy, the team and everyone. So doing good.
Awesome. So you and your teammates voted for the most valuable teammate of the meet?
Yeah, absolutely. So we basically broke it down. We got 3 all-arounders on our team. So we got David, Cole, and Micah, all of them doing a lot of work and putting in a lot of weight. But we ended up voting for Cole Schreiber to be our MVP of the meet. So our 3 all-arounders did great, but we're nominating Cole today.
Congratulations. And is he around? Can I hear from him real quick?
Absolutely. Hey, Cole. Yeah, absolutely. He'll be on in just a second here.
All right, we'll bring him in when he's ready.
All right, Cole.
He's coming. Just give it time. It's all right. We got a little bit. Nat, please mute yourself.
Say it again.
All right.
Hi,
Cole, welcome. Now I was talking to somebody else, but now you're here, so I'll talk to you, sir, because you are the man of the hour. Congratulations on being voted by your teammates as the most valuable teammate, or a play on words for the MVP of the meet. So, how you feeling about today's meet?
I mean, I had a couple of falls, and but I stuck vault, which I was really happy about. That's like hardest event to stick in my opinion. So and that was good. I just recently started laying out that vault, and I just started doing gymnastics again. I've only been back for a little less than a year, and I took a little over just about a year off of gymnastics. So it's nice to be back in the gym, and it's nice seeing Paul's wonderful face. That's my home team coach right there, and owner. So, and my employer.
That's
actually.
Right. Let's bring it up. Hey, there it is. Shout out to the home team, baby. There you go. Well, I'm sure then he's happy and proud of you for not only sticking your vault, but for being recognized by your teammates for your achievement and accomplishments. That's a great deal. Tell me a little bit about this. The return to gymnastics, and what propelled you to come back into the gym. What did you miss about gymnastics? What's going on? What's going through? Why did you come back to the hardest sport in the world and put yourself through all that pain for what?
Sometimes at practice I ask myself that question. But I was, coming into the gym, just playing around a little bit, and Paul said, I'm texting Josh right now. I'm calling Josh right now. I'm gonna talk to him about putting you on this team. So really it was Paul that really not forced me back into it, but pushed me back into it. And I was coming in playing around. I could tell I missed it. Team environment's the main thing I miss about the sport, being around my friends and clapping it up. That excitement's kind of unmatched. So I love it.
It is. And tell me a little bit about the emotions that you felt right there on that landing on the vaults. Come on, what did that feel like?
It's exciting. I mean, there's not much better than a stuck landing, especially on vault. I couldn't tell you the last time I stuck vault at a meet. I was probably 6 or 7 years old. So it was electric. And especially sticking right after Micah stuck his vault, getting that 2 in a row was super exciting, and got the team all hyped up and ready for P-bars. We had a pretty good rest of the meet after that. So a little momentum boost is really exciting as well.
Yes, sir. And you were definitely the catalyst for that momentum, along with Micah on his vault too. So congratulations on being that pivotal performance that brought the team energy to the level necessary for a strong finish. So congratulations to that.
Thank you.
And to your teammates. All right. And so I'm going to bring Josh back on the horn there, or if he's there.
Yeah.
Just because the meet started so smoothly at the beginning that we didn't get a chance to announce each of the athletes of the team. So can I just get Josh to throw the camera to the team and kind of point to each one so that we can give everybody their recognition necessary there?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So just asking if you could kind of give everyone a little introduction, because they didn't get to do that. Oh yeah, yeah. Just kind of show our faces and all that. I'm sure.
Hey guys. First of all, I like that microphone. I may have to get one because my ears are hurting from this giant thing that I'm wearing here. Josh, so just because we started so smoothly earlier today that we didn't get a chance to recognize each one of your athletes individually and by name. So if you don't mind, just give us a rundown of the athletes and point to each one. And if you would like to continue also with your coach's last words for today, how you feel about the meet, how you feel about how things are going for you and your team, where you and where you guys heading from here. So two part. One, introduce your team, and then two, your sort of like closing thoughts for today's meet.
Absolutely. I do have one problem though. The camera that was used is now gone. But maybe they can walk behind here if that will work.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. There you go.
All right, this is Joe Bajik, Senior. All right, next guy.
What's going on, Joe?
We got Malcolm Moore, Jr. Dylan Bones, Senior, who came to us from the tumbling world.
Nice.
Joey Dorenzo, Jr. Right now he's a pommel horse specialist. He's got a bum shoulder, but he'll be back on the other events next year. This is Ethan Meister, Senior. Graduated actually in December from Ohio State.
All right. Continuing his college career. I like that.
Ryan Turva, freshman. Cole Schreiber, sophomore. Zach Cipra, our captain, senior.
Yeah.
David Dortman, sophomore.
See, I said it right.
OJ Miles, freshman. He also goes by Jamilin. Micah Puckett, freshman, coming all the way from Alabama. All right, and that's all our guys.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. That was it was important for us to recognize these boys and get them to be seen, even if just for the eyeballs. But I appreciated that, Josh. So, Josh, any closing thoughts for the night?
Last words here. This was by far our highest scoring competition since we started. So we are super pumped up and super excited to score that 336 today. And I think we can even go up. And the guys they are on cloud 9 right now, and so am I.
Well deserved indeed. They looked good, and like you know, I didn't know this was your best team score so far, and that's fantastic. And yes, there's so much room for improvement there, right? And it's good to be in a place where you're doing so well, and knowing that there's room to stretch. So I'm excited to see what these guys pull together from now until the end of the season. Congratulations! I am thrilled that you guys are doing well, healthy, strong. And with a strong base in your team, they got so much to show, and a few freshmen, so that's exciting too. So the guys got a while to go. So Josh, congratulations to you and to your team, sir. That is awesome. So I think that's it. Unless I can get David or Nikita back on the phone or on the computer, I think we're just gonna say that's probably not gonna happen. But I'll give him a second or two to see if anyone is there. And if not, then they're probably busy with their juniors finishing their meet. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Breeze Olson from Santa Cruz, California. These days, I am so grateful to be here, a part of this incredible community, this family. The gym where I work here in Santa Cruz is called Ohana Gymnastics. Ohana, of course, means family. We named it that because we truly feel like this is our family. And to me, in more ways than one, because truly my family is a gymnastics family, from my parents to currently my wife and my my father-in-law, who is an Olympian and a representative of the U.S. in many international competitions, including 3 Olympic Games. So gymnastics is in my blood. It's in my family. It's in my brain. It's in my soul. I thank you all for being part of it and for making it so meaningful and so special. So thank you. John Lucas shows up at the last moment. John working behind the scenes for a production of this presentation to be broadcast elsewhere. And also he's going to be taking over a lot of the broadcasting from this for the meets to come, so I can focus on watching gymnastics and not have to worry about the control center that I have in front of me. So John, thanks for being around. And thanks also to Carl Meter, who helped you with the narration on your end of things. And we're gonna have to see which dog did barked the best.
Oof.
Oof. All right, judges, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Peace, love, and aloha. GymACT all the way. Gymnastics, save it. It's worth it.